Hello, everyone. and Welcome back to another session of Dusts of the Past. Last session, the party, after leaving Orlungra with a lot of newfound knowledge, made a desperate run to catch up to where they thought Caylona was, and then she wasn't, and then had to chase after her using cracking and quite a bit of speed, where when they caught up to her, they discovered that she had been possessed by the Ring of Winter. After everybody else left, Div followed, and through Div and Connie's intervention, the two of you, Div and Caylona, now walk back to camp. Caylona, your skin is once again warming despite the heat. It's a slow process, but the cold seems to be coming out of you, and for once the incredible heat of Chold actually feels nice. You walk up to the rest of everybody else. What were y'all doing? What are you looking like right now?
Confused. Jasper was chasing and then got tired, tripped on a root, and then kind of was slowly walking towards where they went.
Yeah, I probably also haven't gotten far and am just sort of leaning up against a tree, um, eyebrows progressively quirking higher as these two emerge back out of the woods.
Jasper, you see them first from your position as you were up ahead, just sort of confused at this point, trying to figure out where they were, and they emerge out from a tree.
They don't look like they fought each other.
I mean, Caylona still might be glowing a little bit from that guiding bolt I hit her with, but otherwise she was probably fine.
Right.
Right, still, like it's gonna, right, like they're basically.
What was that, Mariah?
Can you hear me a little bit better now, or is it still bad?
That's better.
Just better.
Okay. I think it's my AirPods, but basically her hair is still white and her eyebrows are also now white. So she kind of looks a little bit albino, but she's still really dark, but she's just got really white hair.
Animator.
Digging a new look. Is everything okay?
Yes, everything is fine now.
Caylona just nods and she's like, well, I'm not possessed anymore, so that's a good thing.
The rest of the group is back this way. You guys want to join us? Jasper leads them to where everyone else is.
Sounds Gucci.
Nephis has been like watching Kamakani because she's like, if I have to stab him, I will. You know, like
Yeah,
he's
no,
here and I
she
hate him.
needed.
So
We don't stab this one.
Nephis just sitting there the whole time, like, give me a reason.
We like the
is, like smirking at you as you're holding the sword, like actively daring you.
we like
I'm so
three of the
tempted.
other
I'm
ones in
so
there.
tempted right now. It would be so
Um,
easy. No one else is here. If you scream, who would care? Come on. But I won't.
You guys hear like the squelching of mud as you're like having this stare off as the other three come around.
Kamakani sort of lazily looks up and away from Nephis, towards the emerging three. He says, "Oh, and that's all of them. Interesting. I was expecting one or two less."
Jasper very forcefully puts himself between Kamakani and Caylona. Just to be safe, I guess, which is probably not the right noun adjective for that.
He kind of ignores you, says, "Caylona, long time no see. It looks like you've been up to a few things."
She just kind of looks at him because it's Kamakani, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She just kind of looks at him and she's like, "And you would be interested in that because..."
He shrugs. "I just like to know about the affairs of what's going on around me. I'm sure you understand, but I will leave you to your privacy if you do not want to share. We have things to do after all."
Yes, we do. I would love to tell you more on our walk, though, but first I think we should figure out what we're doing and where we're going.
Well, we know both of those things.
We
The
do.
runes on the ancient temple told us a place to go and someone to fight to learn about a thing. I always enjoy going to places, fighting things.
Is a fight really necessary?
He shrugs again. "I suppose we could offer up a few things in bargain, but we might want to wait on that until we get an idea of what we're up against."
I say we try talking first, and if that doesn't work, then we fight. Because you can't go back from a stab wound.
Riveting philosophical understanding. Out of character for a second, does anyone remember the names of the places that we're going and the person that we have to fight to learn about the thing?
You're assuming I knew in the first place.
I wrote them down, but then I left that notebook in a box, so it's gone. I don't know where we're going or what we're doing.
Scott, we know where we're going and what we're doing and the person we have to talk to, correct?
So the place where you're going is the city of Omu. And it's between the Valley of Lost Honor and the Peaks of Flame.
I do remember that part, because Lost Honor and Peaks of Flame, both of those sound infinitely more insane than whatever the city of Omu is, which I'm sure is also going to be insane. Don't get me wrong.
Isn't
And
Omu
then the person who you're fighting is a Yanti named Raz the Sea.
Oh, yeah.
Or who you were told to get rid of.
You could just like go on a vacation. I don't know if we have to kill him, visit somewhere else.
I do
That would
enjoy
get
the
rid of
idea
him,
of
technically.
convincing the evil Yanti to go on a vacation. I think that should be our plan.
Maybe that's why they're
I
evil.
could do it. He just needs a
They just
vacation.
haven't had a vacay.
Yeah. We'll send him
The
to Florida,
lady did tell us to like get rid of him, so presumably after the vacation he would like come back.
Permanent vacation.
You've won an all-expense
retirement. Convince him to retire to a nice swampy bog somewhere else. I actually know a few nice swampy bogs in Eberron. We could give him directions.
Yeah. We're set, dude. Easy.
Cool.
I know a prime location at the bottom of the ocean.
I was gonna send him to Disney World, so you guys are on a very different
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
He'll have to cross a few dimensional barriers for that, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Guess we'll head to Omu.
Do either of you need rest? You specifically, he points at Caylona.
You're muted, Mariah.
Oh, that's awkward. She kind of looks at her arms that are probably not steaming as much, and she's like, I actually feel fine.
Well, I suppose strange possessions can have stranger outcomes. We might as well get going then.
Mm-hmm.
So, I assume, so Azaka at this point, by the way, didn't know that this was where you were going. Because you guys were like, all right, we're going downriver to get Caylona, and that was what she knew. So,
oh yeah, we're updating her on the new plan then.
Here's the new lore.
So you look at her and she nods. She sits there, like tracing her hand through the air for a couple seconds as she considers the maps, and then she says, "We should, if we take the river path, we can get back to the basin. Follow the basin's coast further south this time. It will give us a good distance before then we traverse the jungle and head towards the edge of the peaks of flames, and we can find there we can start at the peaks of flame and go across. I'm sure if it's Lost City of Omu is supposedly massive. I'm sure if we have a specific location, will not be horrendously difficult to find. It will stand out.
We can only hope.
Not to
I pride myself on standing out. Which I probably shouldn't in this case.
Not to sound horribly ignorant on my Trolfian geography, but why is it called the Lost City of Omu? Is there some history here that might be valuable?
Because titles are cool. Like, you just want to be the city when you could be the lost city. People will come and try to find you. It's called tourism. It's how you get visitors and how you make money.
You do not
The
just.
city is lost because it's been abandoned for hundreds of years.
That's much more sad.
Who were its original inhabitants?
This part of Zendrick used to be home to the kingdom of the Omuans. They were the biggest civilization to have lived here since the giants, as far as we're aware. But they became a corrupt people, and their god abandoned them. Ubtao used to be the god of this portion of the world, left a long time ago. You can still find some of his symbology in ruins throughout Chol. After he left, the people turned on themselves and were destroyed. The majority of their history is unknown and, well, as the city suggests, lost. On top of that, it is not close to civilization. Civilization in Chol has been pushed out to the edges, whereas where we're going is deep inside of the jungles. We will be going largely south from here, almost to the other coast. Still, the barrier in the way, but this destination is not close to where we are. It is far.
Kamakani nods. He says, well, we have traveled far to get here, so I'm sure we'll manage a way to make it there as well. And he kind of glances around at the jungle, thinking of those ruins of like a corrupt people and an abandoning god. He says, interesting always to see what might have happened in Corvair had the last war not ended.
She just kind of gives a curt nod, but doesn't say anything. We must hike back to the river then. We'll take it north for a little bit, then east over to the Atlantic Basin.
East! Finally! Sorry, never mind. Cool. Let's start walking. I will slowly let my steps slow as we walk until I am walking next to Caylona, wherever she happens to end up walking.
Next to Jasper because he's showing off his new arm.
What does your new arm look like? I forgot.
Cool.
It's got like a cool gemstone in it from your sword, right?
Yeah, it's in the hand.
What kind of gemstone is it?
A glass, but it's kind of looks like a Jasper.
Oh, pretty.
Aww.
I stole it from the prop department.
Really cool.
Jasper's just kind of like shining it up in the light and says, "Thank you. Liru made it for me."
Liru was very kind like that. I believe she put that spell on my knives forever ago. Or maybe it was Melisandre. I can't remember.
Either one, they're both very helpful.
Pointed look at Kamakani.
Side eyes, Kamakani.
Actually looks somewhat interested, quickly obscured, when you mention Liru. He says, how long ago were you conversing with Liru?
How long what?
How long ago were you conversing with Liru?
Before you showed back up.
He hums.
Caylona wasn't there.
Interesting. And she had time to make an arm, and whatever that is. And he kind of glances over at Raynor, then shakes his head. Oh well.
They're all just like awkwardly silent.
Yeah.
Like, what do we say now?
That was strange.
Extremely so.
Did you lose track of us or something?
Me lose track of you?
Well, you seem like you've lost time. You seem to be confused as to how all of these things could happen.
I simply considered Liru to be otherwise occupied recently, but perhaps I have lost a little bit of time. I shall endeavor to find it again. Caylona, it must have been while you were gone, yes? And Jasper, you said before I showed back up.
Mm-hmm.
I was gone for quite a long time.
Did you speak to Melisandre after or before?
The last thing I remember is
not you, Caylona, dearest. I apologize for the confusion.
I know it's been like a day, but Cameron has forgotten because it's been like.
Yeah, it was Liru
ago.
and then Melisandre and then Kamakani showed up again.
Yes, Melisandre was also here, which is surprising that you don't know.
No, I remember her. I'm just simply trying to pinpoint what sort of vagueness might have befallen my memory. I appreciate your assistance.
You're welcome.
So you spoke to Liru, and then you spoke to Mirasandra, and then you spoke to me, and are now continually speaking to me, of course.
Probably. I don't know. There was a bit of a kerfuffle and some things happened.
Speaking of those things, Caylona, what did happen?
She just kind of shrugs. She's like, well, do you want the honest answer, the short answer, or the short honest answer?
Don't say anything without a lawyer.
We have a long, long walk ahead of us. I'm sure you could make the answer as detailed as you would like it to be.
I don't think that's much business.
She's like, frankly not. But I
What?
am
To an ally? Surely I'd
interested.
Don't have allies.
What would you call you? People who don't kill me. He grins. I suppose you have been rather useful. I'm simply trying to return the favor. And from what I remember, that icy power was quite impressive and dangerous. It lost this body a leg. I'm impressed that it didn't lose Caylona anything. Well, besides the obvious.
And that would be?
He sort of shrugs for a second, wondering how much to twist this knife, if you will, and settles for not, perhaps not any more violence on this fine day as they have a long way to walk. He says, the color of your hair, for one thing.
Yes, it does cost quite a lot to get the dye that I use.
When we get back to Sharn, I know a guy.
Bless you, Jasper.
Of course.
I'm a theater kid, of course I know.
You could ask Zephyrus, too.
Yeah, Zephyrus.
I'm sure he's got a dealer there somewhere.
Probably. Highly likely, actually. Caylona looks at Kamakani and she says, well, nothing that happened is any of your business. I can tell that you're extremely interested. And so as such, I will tell you most or whatever is equal to whatever information I receive if you can tell me a little bit more about where you come from. Your name sounds awfully familiar to me.
Oh, sure. He almost preens a little bit. He says, what would you like to know?
Well, I know that you have a lot of power, supposedly. I want to know where you started, where you came from.
Well,
and what you are.
You and I are alike in at least a few ways. I was born as a Kalistar in Breland, actually. I joined the army there, rose through the ranks there, became a general there. And I was perhaps ignorant at first. I believed that fighting for the king of Breland was equal and of similar strength to fighting with my kind against the Dalkior, but I was wrong. And, well, one thing always leads to another when the nightmares are concerned. And I hope to stay ahead. I hope to keep what little advantage this world still holds on to against the Dreaming Dark.
Caylona looks really confused at the last part that you just said, and She's like, what on earth is the Dreaming Dark?
Has no one taught you your history, child?
I'm an orphan.
Oh. Well,
I didn't have any offer. Are you serious? Sorry.
no worries. Well, I suppose in most Kalashtar settlements, it's passed down through generations, but that spirit in your head, the spirit that I once had in my head, the spirit that my mother had in hers, my father had in his, all of those, they come from another plane of existence called Dalkyr. It's the plane of dreams, and it is constantly locked in a battle of balance. There are the nightmares and the spirits of dreams, the quarry. They are what we fight for. Those spirits in our heads, they are the dreaming. And we are always fighting on this in this world and back in our own to tip the scales towards light. This world remains in an era of lightness. The world of nightmares would not be one that we would like to beckon into phase, but it is becoming closer at all moments, and it is closer now than ever. His eyes get like borderline fanatical as he's saying this. Like this is the heart and soul of what he grew up believing and what he still believes. Is this war basically that he is on the front lines of, that all of Kalashtar kind are on the front lines of.
Woo! Do you know if she kind of just like sits there because she like this all makes sense to her? Would it have been abnormal for the Kalashtar to, I guess, give up their children without anyone to take care of them? Like, in a sense, whole villages being killed, things like that.
Can you say again?
So she's basically just asking if it would have been abnormal for like entire villages or like just tribes or people, collections of Kalashtar people to be killed altogether.
Kamakani's lip sort of quirks up in like a sad, angry smile, and he says, "That's far more common than even conspiracy would lead us to believe. It happens constantly. It's the agents of the Dreaming Dark working to weed us out where they can. It happened to my village. It likely happened to you." For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
She shrugs. I don't even remember them. The most that I know is sometimes when the wind blows through the trees when I'm in the mountains, I remember a deep voice that I can't quite pinpoint, that I assume is my father. And when I used to be scared when I was little, I would hear a woman's voice singing to me in my head, and it was comforting, but that's all that I have. So that wasn't much of a loss for me.
Kamakani nods. He says, "Well, your memories bring much power. Be careful with them.
What does
And try
that
not to
mean?
put the nightmares too close." Just simply means that the forces that we are entangled with, our kind and our world, they are all in the mind. And clinging on to what you remember is your strongest defense against them.
Interesting.
You likely have nightmares about you. All mortals do these days, but the fewer the better.
She nods. Sometimes life is a little too entertaining for nightmares. It's almost like I'm living in one instead of dreaming of one. But alas. I am curious though. What? So you were a general. You said were. How are you where you are now?
Well, I met a little bit of a setback in the form of an Aeondarian scout. It didn't set me back for long, as you can see. And he sort of gestures at the body. He says, but I was a general for quite a long time. Even after I lost Connie, even after I lost everything, they still knew what good I could do.
She stops, kind of like, well, not stops, but blinks a little bit extra at the name Connie. And she says, is that the name of your quarry?
Yes.
She just nods and does not say anything at all. She's just like, okay, cool.
You feel a twinge of pain in your head at that, Caylona. That line from Kamakani.
Ooh. Yikes. Okay, she flinches a little bit and kind of grabs her temple, but not for very long.
You would know, like, the presence of your quarry is, like, entangled with your very soul, right? And it's hard to imagine what would be able to separate those two things, but you can imagine the horrendous damage that having parts of your soul basically torn away in the form of your quarry spirit being removed would probably do.
So you don't have one anymore?
I do not. I'll find it again one day.
Ah. She's just like super quiet. Like, this is so awkward. Anyway. She's like, so you found it, but you didn't.
Yeah, there's that like gleam of devotion in his eye again as he says, when this world finally tips towards the light, I will find it all again.
She just nods and then is like desperately searching for new topics.
Subject change, the subject change, the subject change, the subject
yeah.
change.
Is that what you think you are doing?
What was that now, Div?
Yes.
Is that what you think you are doing?
Tipping the world towards the light, of course. What is it that you think I am doing?
I have seen what things like you do.
Things like I?
Yes. Things that are godless. Things that
I
have
am
lost
far
themselves.
from godless.
You are godless and soulless.
You say the nicest things, Div. You'll see, though. Or maybe you won't.
I have seen. I do not intend to see it again.
He kind of... Are you walking in front of him or behind him? This is important to me for dramatic emphasis.
Div is looming behind the party as per usual.
Okay, he turns around and like starts walking backwards then. He says, then why have you allowed me to walk beside you so long? If you don't believe in the sight that I have, in the knowledge that I bring, in the purpose that I know, why have you not stopped me? perhaps you know you can't. This is just destiny. I was born to end a nightmare.
And yet here you stand creating one.
Your nightmare? I don't think that one has anything to do with me. You can see the echoes of your family all over me, all over the others that share this soul. But that does not make it our business. It does not make it my doing.
Do not assume you know anything about my dreams.
Have you not told them? I try to stay mostly out of the way of what you and my echoes have to deal with. It's a little bit tiresome, I admit, a little bit lonely, but I do hear things. I do know that they promised to be beside you, and you cannot have one without the other. You cannot have those that you love and not bring me along too. We're part of each other. We always have been.
That's part of a family. You will always take all of the good, even with the bad. We try to fix the bad as best as we can, but the good is what makes it all worth it. Every bad thing you've ever done, every horrible thing you've ever said, every bad interaction we've ever had, all of the good outweighs all of that tenfold.
Div stops. His head snaps to you, Jasper. He says, "You cannot compare those two things to what he is. You cannot say that he is a part of anyone, of anything. He is not.
He's a part of the rest of the souls.
He is a parasite.
He is a part of them. You remove this parasite, you risk losing the entire body. It's not nice, it's horrible, but without him, we don't have the rest of them. And if you're willing to get rid of the other 4, we can get rid of him where he stands. But I'm not going to do that, and we're going to have to deal with this until we can figure something else out.
That is not what I said.
I don't exactly know what most people have been saying this whole time. I'm just trying to lighten the situation because it's gotten pretty scary. And we're going to have a very large task, and if we're fighting ourselves right now, that's not going to be helpful.
Kamakani is cleaning under his fingernails.
Nephis will pipe up and say, I vote that we don't listen to a word that he has to say for the rest of the trip. Who's all in favor?
Y'all have been listening to him?
I'm walking right in front of you.
That's true. I'm sorry.
Think I'm not going to listen to what this thing says?
That is true.
Anybody else?
Div, I'm sorry. I don't know the full situation of everything. I'm trying to make it better.
I am trying to keep you safe. I am trying to make sure I do not lose anyone.
Including Kamakani? Because we're not going to lose him anytime soon.
That is okay. Certain parasites take time to get rid of.
Kamakani's lip kind of twitches up into a grin. He says, I agree.
As he talks, Jasper just starts strumming his lute very loudly.
Kamakari
Even louder.
throws back his head and sort of laughs. He says, though not necessarily intending anyone to hear, as Jasper's strumming gets louder, he says, well, I have a lot to think on, and a few things to punish. And then he dissolves. We can have, who can we have? We can have Mirasandra.
Marcia's sitting in the background.
He deserves a rest. Let
He
the
sure
old man
does.
rest.
Yeah. Mirasandra is working on remembering how to skip with her new prosthetic leg.
Seeing that Jasper starts playing kind of a syncopated melody to try to help.
Div in the background when Kamakani disappears, just kind of his body kind of like slumps a little bit as all of the tension and like anger that he was holding just kind of falls. And all that's left as he looks at over everybody else and slowly trails behind is just grief.
Sorry.
After another couple hours of stepping over vines and dodging tree roots, the sun starts to descend. This wasn't, well, it was a full day of travel, but you spent the first half of it fastest you've ever moved through these jungles, and then some waiting. So by the time you get close to where the river is, the sun has made its way towards the horizon. The rain has slowed to more of a gentle trickle that you can hear going down through the leaves of the trees around you. And Azaka stops in front of you and says, as she turns, and each of you take your time getting a handful from the rain catcher and filling your canteens again. She says, we should probably stop here for the day.
No complaints from me. Mirasandra sort of grins, beckons Raynor over, and starts like brushing away the fallen leaves and mud and stuff from his head.
Jasper walks up to Div. Div, I'm sorry for arguing with you back there. I know a lot of your guys' relationship isn't any of my business, but us fighting with each other isn't going to get us any further.
It's all right. I will figure things out.
Well, you don't have to do it alone because we're here with you. If there's anything you need to tell us, anything you need to talk about, I'm here. Nephis will listen. Caylona probably understands. Zephyrus is here.
Div reaches to lightly put a hand on your shoulder, just enough to not actually fully touch you. He says, I appreciate it, but I will handle things.
You don't have to do it alone. We're here if you need help.
I'm here to make sure you get out of here alive. That is my purpose.
Yeah, and my purpose is to be an actor. Yet look where I am. And he just vaguely gestures around. Our purpose doesn't have to fully define who we are. You can be a friend, and it's okay.
I appreciate it. But I think we both know that robots don't have much more than their purpose. You should rest.
Jasper kind of just looks off into the distance, confused. You can't, but he kind of holds his lute like a club, and he's like, "But you can." Huh.
Nephis has been carrying Caylona's stuff with her this whole time since she disappeared and has not given it back yet. So she, very non-committally, is gonna walk over to where Caylona is kind of making camp and like drop the stuff on the ground and be like, "You left this when you disappeared. Thought you would want it back." And tries to leave immediately after.
Caylona looks and grabs it and and she's like, "Oh, thank you. I honestly thought all of this was gone. It means a lot."
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Don't even worry about it. And I did not snoop at all, so you're welcome.
She just kind of smiles and nods, and and then she's like, there's like probably there's not much in there, even if you did snoop. But if you had any questions, you could always ask.
Okay. It's fine. You do have some interesting things in there, though. Cool things to carry around. So anyway.
She like smiles, like actually smiles for the first time, like, well, not for the first time, but just like she does not smile that big very frequently, but I think like low-key the catharsis of getting rid of an evil spirit inside of her body is just overwhelmingly amazing for her. And she's just like, yeah, I think so too, honestly.
Well, we're glad you're back. I'm gonna go set up camp now. So have a good night.
She just indeed hubby.
I would like to harass Nephis. My turn.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Mirasandra sort of hop skips over to where you are working, Nephis, and attempts cheerfully to like assist in whatever task that you are performing. She says, "Well, that was all rather exciting, wasn't it?"
Yes, very exciting. All the minutes we've been here have been very exciting.
Every single one of them, you could say. I've seen at least 5 birds today, so that does bring the general ambiance up a few notches. I love birds. I haven't seen you necessarily so peeved by this jungle as the rest of us. I wonder, have you been in places like this before?
I mean, I've never been in this jungle before. No, so I can't say that I have.
It's quite a wide world.
It is very big variety of places. So
have you seen many of them? I know you're from Greenland. That's at least one climate. I've heard it rains. Not so often this year, of course.
Yeah, I definitely prefer the rain there. But I've seen my fair share. I don't know if I would call myself like a world traveler or anything like that, but I've seen a few places in my time. So
Just following where the wind takes you, or following orders, following a station, a dream? She sort of raises her eyebrows.
nothing so fantastic as a dream or the wind. Uh I sometimes do what I'm told, and that's usually when I ended up other places. So
Ah, well, I admire both the occasional rule following and the wisdom to know perhaps when to avoid them. And she sort of grins, elbows you friendly. And she says, "What's your favorite place that you've ever been?"
oh, my favorite place. I think my favorite place is probably still where I was living in Breland. It's where most of my good, happy memories are, I think. So, um, it's you can tell she like almost said something and then she like reconsidered
Mm.
that what she was gonna say, but she's like, it's a good place to be. I am a fan of my home city.
Would you recommend I visit? When all of this is through, of course.
Of course, yes, please. It's great. It's beautiful. So
Where might it be?
that's a great question. Well, I just live a bit outside of the main central city of Breland.
The
Fewer
capital city
people.
or Sharn?
Yes, the capital city.
Okay,
Yes.
so right.
Yes, a bit more in the country. I spent a lot of time just in the fields there with my friends, which is a very good time.
Mm.
So, if you like the country, it's a good place to go.
Oh, I so adore it. Mirasan just sort of smiles. She looks like genuinely delighted to have another place to visit, another past and world to see. Um, she says, "Not to pester you with questions, but I do just love to hear about what brings people where they have come, where they have come from, where they have come from." And she grins at the sort of way the words feel in her mouth when she says that. Um, so, if you have any other memories to share or any hopes that you wish to see in the future, perhaps I could recommend a few places for you to go. Though you're not a world
Yes.
traveler. And she winks.
Yes. I can't say I have any specific hopes of places to go or things to do as of right now, but I would definitely keep you in mind if those do happen to be a thing. Thank you.
Of course. Not places, not things to experience. Maybe a person to go back to?
Um, maybe, maybe, but uh, sometimes I think separation is best for people, and it's a decision you have to make. Conversations are hard to have, and sometimes it's just best to not have them. So I think I'll probably stay here a bit longer once we're out of the jungle, of course. I would rather not stay in this jungle longer than I have to. And then see where I get taken, where I'm led after that.
Well, that's interesting wisdom. I will keep that in mind as well. And I wish you all the best. Truly, I do.
Thank you. Thank you for coming over and talking to me. It was nice. And thank you for your help.
She continues helping. She doesn't say anything else, but she doesn't leave either.
As you are all setting up camp, you see that Azaka's been off in the corner examining one particular tree, and she calls out just in general to all of you, and she says, "Come here. This one doesn't have a jaculi in it today. I think you will enjoy this."
I don't know what she said, but I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah, no, Nephis is always down to go see what Azaka has going on. So
Same.
So you guys all kind of wander over. She who's there first?
Me, dibs.
Yeah, probably Melisandre, let's be honest.
Yeah.
She reaches up to this tree, which has these spreading branches that are fairly wide, as most of the trees do in Cholt, but it's kind of hard because there are tons of different ones to actually keep track of them. And this particular tree has lots of round nuts about fist sized that are hanging from them, still in a thick shell. And she takes her blade and she cuts one off, and then she tosses it to you, Melisandre, and she says, "Shake that." Like this move. As you do, and at this point it's largely dark outside. Like it's still enough light that you can barely see, but with the clouds that had begun to roll in, it's becoming difficult. And as you shake it, the bark gets lighter and lighter and lighter until it is glowing a bright yellow.
In the illumination like spraying across her face, Mirasandra looks absolutely delighted. She tosses it between her hands, and like shakes it harder, and grins. She says, "This is magical."
Azaka nods, just with like a slight smile, and then she gestures, "For the rest of you, you can take them if you want them."
Div comes to kind of lean over Melisandre's shoulder. What is so interesting?
It glows! It's a plant, but it glows. I love it when nature, she says this beaming smile on her face. How long does it last?
If you don't continue to shake it, it should last for about a minute, emitting them that light. And she taps the tree bark with the hilt of her blade, and she says, "These are called waka trees, and is a waka nut. If you see them, I would steer clear most of the time, as jaculis tend to remain in the trees, as well as zorbos and sioux monsters, all things you want to avoid. But this one is safe for now. That being said, I would not lay down your bed too close to it. Waking up being strangled to death by a jackally would not be good for any of you. After all, the creatures can turn invisible, so you would never see it coming." And she says that with a smile.
Like, pats
You're
Azaka
telling
on the
this.
shoulder. She
You're
says, "I
telling
do
us.
so love when you tell us wonderful things about the jungle, Azaka, and then finish them off with terrifying things. It's always nice to keep conversations in balance." And then she skips off with her nut.
You're just now telling this to us?
I checked the tree first. Look, if I were to tell you every single thing that could kill you in this jungle, we would never get anywhere. Just take it for granted that most things can. You'll be much safer.
What's the list of things that can't kill us?
The tree itself is not deadly. I wouldn't eat those nuts, though, if I were you. Just use them.
Jasper, like, slowly.
Could that kill you? No, it probably could if you ate it. Don't eat it, and you'd be fine. Most flowers, except for trifrons would kill you. They would dissolve your bones slowly.
Things that can't kill.
She like sits there. Almira, lovely creatures. They won't kill you.
Won't or can't.
They probably they're small creatures. I mean, I suppose they have a horn that's sharp, but it's not poisonous. Uh, they're lucky. Lots of people consider them lucky.
How long will this last if I take it and don't shake it? He just holds one of the nuts.
She shrugs and says, I haven't ever tested it personally. At least a couple weeks, perhaps longer.
Oh, Jasper just takes a bunch of nuts.
After you take like 3, she kind of holds a hand up and she's like, that is enough. Leave some for the creatures that need them.
That is fair. Putting 3 nuts in my pocket.
That's too many nuts. Put some back.
No, I'm only taking 3.
Keep in mind, so they're about fist sized, so they're not really that small.
Cool.
They take up a bit of space.
3 big nuts. All I'm writing down.
3 big nuts.
I'm playing, or Mirror's I'm just playing fetch with Raynor and the nut. Currently, just throwing it. Dinosaur, bring it back. We're having fun.
Div is standing underneath the tree looking up at the branches. Can I see anything at all? Like, can I even like see the branches?
You can see the branches, yeah, so you can feel them, but I mean, it doesn't make any difference to you. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah. He's half looking like at the tree itself and half looking for things in the branches, just in case.
Nephis will like grab one and like shake it, like kind of, and like sort of laugh to herself about it and say like under her breath, like, the jungle really is a magical place, and like go back to doing whatever she was doing.
At about like the 4th or 5th chuck of the knot ball, Mirasandra just keels over, like just falls asleep.
Toddler behavior.
All right. So y'all head to sleep. Early the next morning,
Oh no.
you are roughly awakened, probably Nephis first, by Azaka shaking your shoulder. And then she just kind of like moves on to each of you. But as you wake up, Nephis, she hisses down and she says, Jiraxo, quickly.
Okay. My axe is out.
And as she walks around, Zaka's habit is to take the first and last watch. And she quickly runs around to each of you, giving you roughly the same message. Just get ready, fight.
You wake up. I'm Marcius now. If we're fighting. Yeah,
I'm gonna like look around. Sorry, go ahead.
Nothing. I was just gonna say the silver, like unconscious mannequin lump of the constellation, when it's awoken and told to get ready to fight, resolves into Marcius. That's all.
Amazing.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, Nephis is like, no, you're good. Nephis is like surveying the area. She has been woken up like this before, quite a few times. She's looking for whatever the threat is.
Make me a perception check.
Doing that.
Yippee. I got an 18.
I ain't seeing anything. That's a 9.
If you're just like shaking yourself out of your cycle, your vision is blurring so badly, you're having a hard time placing where the trees are relative to you as your senses come back in. Nephis, you pop up, your mind is instantly alert. And you look around and you can see in the light, it's just the sky has just barely started to lighten. You see around you, surrounding your small camp, are glowing, not really glowing, but reflecting eyes of an orangish red. You can also see just barely visible are claws and teeth from the creatures that are completely surrounding your camp. And then you can hear, now that you're paying attention, just barely under the sound of the jungle, which is a cacophony at night, the sounds of low growls coming from these creatures. And Azaka, as she comes to, she's crouched in very just feline position, low to the ground, her sword out. And she looks back towards the rest of you and she says, I tried to lead them away, but I only got about half of them.
What are they?
Velociraptors, you call them in your language. They attack as a pack. Don't get surrounded. I would love if y'all would roll me initiative.
Yeah.
My gosh, we're fighting velociraptors, bruh.
I got an 8.
I got a nat 20, so
Heck yeah.
yay.
That means nothing when you're rolling against Scott.
I know, I'm like, whippy.
Okay, so
It'll be a
let me roll
22
for
if I include my thing.
Zaki. Okay. Right. Mariah, are you alive in there?
Yeah. My brain died. I can't remember what you add for. Do you add anything for initiative?
Dexterity.
Add your dexterity.
Ah, okay. So then I got 21.
21. Okay.
You know, I'm just here, guys. What's up?
Jasper is still waking up, it's okay. I mean, it would feel like a dream to suddenly be fighting velociraptors, so, you
For
know.
real.
Jasper's trying to fly right now.
Okay. So, Nephis, as you come to this awareness and you're the first one up, you are there as these creatures are around you. You're up first, so you can decide what you want to do.
Great. I'm gonna rage, first off. Because I'm about to fight some dinosaurs. And then I'm gonna roll to hit just the closest one to me, but I'm gonna keep Azaka's warning in mind. Are they like pretty far out surrounding the camp? Or
Not really. They're forming a circle around you, so that there's not really any gaps in the trees. Well, there are gaps, but not specifically.
yeah, but as I'm like looking in their positioning, do I think if I go up to attack one that the rest will try to surround me? Is that what they're gonna try to do?
Probably.
Yay.
Tact.
Well, I'm gonna tell everyone which one I'm going for. I'm gonna point to it and say, going after this one. Everyone keep an eye out. Thanks. And then I rolled a let's see, that's 19 to hit, actually. I'm hoping that hits.
19 will hit.
Yippee! Okay. I'm gonna do yeah, 6 damage. Woo!
All right. So yeah, you hit it. And you're kind of startled as it's kind of hard to pick out exactly where these things are. And so you swing at it and it jumps backwards, and they're not huge creatures. They come up to a little bit past your waist, but you can see that they have scales and feathers, which you assume would be brightly colored, but it's hard to tell in this light. And as you swing at it, it hisses and jumps back, and you catch it, giving it a slash across the chest, which seems to wound it, but it's still there. And then it starts hissing and spitting. All of a sudden, it gets a lot louder as all of these creatures start making those noises at the same volume. And you can hear that there's quite a few of them. And then as it jumps back, you can see that it has some very sharp claws on its feet. Then, Caylona, you are up.
Exciting. Sorry, you can't even see my face. It's sad. Okay. They're all pretty close, right?
Yeah, they're surrounding you in your camp in a circle. So Nephis has charged forward and started attacking one.
Oh no. Okay, this is a dumb question. Remind me again what the spider thing does with the knife.
So it only does stuff if it targets spiders.
Oh, okay. So
You can
be
basically
attacking it.
control them.
Okay. Mm. Okay. In theory, because the knife, like the slicey through the reality thing, goes like 500 feet, right?
Mhm.
Or was it 50?
500.
Okay. That's like 5 football fields. Do we feel like that's enough space?
There's a lot of space. But it only
Okay.
does one person, though, I think, or maybe 3.
Maybe
Like
3.
you. It's not very many.
Okay, then that's not helpful. I was
Let me
like,
check that.
everyone jump in at the same time? Question mark.
Believe it. Yeah, it's just yourself.
Tears. That's okay.
Oh no, you can bring one other person with you.
One other. Okay, we'll use that in emergencies. Are the other raptors like also trying to attack Nephis now that Nephis has attacked the one?
A lot of them are, about half of them. The other half are coming up from behind you.
The other half? Holy shizola. Nephis. Silly. Okay.
I'm a barbarian. What else am I supposed
We're gonna hope that Caylona can aim. She's just gonna start the daggers that come back to her hand. She's gonna start just throwing them as accurately as she can at like their eyes, like at them, at their faces.
So those daggers, I think, are no longer magic because the magic is on the limbs.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry. I wanted an
it's
arm.
okay. It's okay. You need an arm.
So selfish.
You
need
also
that
can
arm.
just
No.
make knives with your mind
Mind
infinitely.
knife.
That's true.
Mind knives.
If
I
you want
forgot
knives
about
that
that. Well, no, I didn't.
Free
but-
knives.
Free knives. Okay, she's gonna make a bunch of mind knives and just start throwing them at the velociraptors, and they're gonna look like very thin but very long, just streaks when she throws them.
So are you throwing them at ones near Nephis or at a different spot?
Preferably near and around Nephis, like the ones that are in her blind spot.
Okay. So you can hit, right now, there are 3 that are right next to her, and then some others that have come in as Nephis charged at them.
Okay. And she's currently handling one.
She's fighting one, she's attacked one right now. And it's not down.
And it's not down. Okay, let's go with whichever one is like at her back, whichever one she can not see the most.
Okay, so there's one that's kind of off to the side and it's moving that direction. You can make it to hit there.
Okay. I forgot. Oh, yeah, maybe. Sorry, weird noises. Okay. Sorry, I had to count the sides of my dice, guys. It was sad. Okay, that one was a 6.
Make sure to add your modifier to that.
Yes, I think I did.
I think your modifier is bigger than 6. Because what's your dex?
I think it's currently just 3. So
3. Okay,
and then
yeah,
I
that's
rolled
right.
a
So
3, so it's 6.
add your proficiency bonus too. So add another 3 to that.
Oh, so 9.
All right. Yeah, so you throw this past it and the creature like slides to the way out of the way. It's kind of hard to pick out where it is among the jungle foliage, especially at the edge of the spot. There's a lot of vines that these things are hanging under, and so you slice through a couple of vines, but you don't actually get the thing. Then you can make another to hit for the other one that you can throw.
Okay. Ooh, 15, I think.
15? 15 will hit?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage and then add sneak attack to that as well.
Sneak attack. I forgot how to add sneak attack, to be honest.
So add another 3d6.
Just a lot of d6.
So roll d6 3 times?
Mhm.
Oh my goodness.
And then add that onto the d4 and your dexterity modifier.
Which one's a d4?
Triangle, the little guy.
Oh. So 11. Wait, okay. So 3d4. Wait, no.
3d6 and then
Okay.
1d4 and your dexterity modifier.
Okay. So it's 14.
14. All right. So you miss this one time and then it startles back. And then as you see it dodge, you actually get a good idea of where it is. And so when you throw the other one with your other hand, it hits the thing right in the throat, goes through the back of its head, and then it collapses to the ground.
Whew.
Murder.
Thrilling.
Velociraptors are not hardy.
Then it's
Very hard.
it's their turn. So Nephis, will start with you because you're up there. So 5 of them are going to come after you. Now only 4 of them are, because one of them, as it was like coming up to your side, was lanced in the throat by Caylona.
Nice.
So we'll start with the one. So you swing at this one, and then it lunges back at you, and 20, whatever that is going to do it. Let's do that.
Maybe it will. Yeah.
And then okay, so an 18 will hit. All right. So first off, it lunges at you with its claws and it rakes across your chest. And this thing may be small, but it is quick. It just leaps up and it is already at your chest height, even though it's like straight up off the ground, and slams into you. And you'll just have to cut this in half for me because we're gonna be doing a lot
I
of
got
this.
you. No problem.
All right. Oh, drop that d4. Never mind. We're using this one. Okay, so you'll take 3 points of slashing damage from that. Then you will take another 3 as from its purchase that it gets on you. It kind of climbs up and then it lunges forward and grabs onto your shoulder with its thin teeth. It doesn't necessarily get deep
off
hits,
me,
but
bro.
it does get 2 of them. And then another one's going to come at you from the side. This one will slam into you. Its claws landing first. Again, that's 3 from that. And then it tries to what's your AC?
16.
16? Okay, yeah. It tries to get you with its jaw, but you manage to shove it off before it can get its jaw around you. And then the one comes up from behind you. Funny, I rolled the same thing. Both of which are 20s, not natural, but Then
What the freak?
It's Scott.
you're going to take 4 points of slashing damage as it slams into you from behind, just raking down. And then 22 will hit there. Or its jaw as it bites onto you, you'll take 7 points of damage from that.
Dang. You round up for half, right?
Down.
What? Okay, well, I need to add some hit points back to me then.
Yeah, anytime that I dealt you 3, you should have only been taking 1.
Great. I was definitely taking 2. So, yeah, I'll add 3 more, I think. Cool.
Then the last one, who's right there, like uses its friend as a springboard, and you almost
Nice.
manage to get your arm up in the way, but instead it rakes its claws down your arm, and you're going to take
Ouch.
6 points from that.
Okay.
And then, but as it doesn't have a good purchase on the rest of your body, as it goes to lean forward with its jaw to clamp down, you toss the thing off to the side, and it skids in the leaves a little bit before coming up, hitting. Then there are another 5 that are behind. So
10 of them. Why wouldn't there
gonna
be
say-
10 of them? Remember, everybody, this is half of the pack.
We love Azaka.
Shout out to Azaka. We could be finding 20. Imagine. I think we would just give up at that point. Let us be eaten by the 20 velociraptors that have pulled up just around our camp.
So
We're
Zaka's
fine,
gonna
we're fine.
come up behind you. Or these guys are gonna come up, and from position here, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna base it off of initiative where you are in camp right now, I think. So they're gonna split
Great.
up among the 3 of you in the back, who's gonna be Div, Jasper, and Zaka. So we'll start off with, let's say, who looks the tastiest? Not Div, that's for sure. Uh,
Let's
Real.
go fight
one's
the
gonna-
medal.
One's gonna come
Real.
after you, Div, because you're moving. The other, actually, would they come after you, Div? How do
I
they
don't know.
see?
They come after me. Div?
They see normal, and so seeing that you're not made out of skin, they actually probably wouldn't. So never mind.
Oh, God. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Okay,
They're like, why
so
would I bite a piece of metal when I could eat someone?
They're like, that
Yeah,
guy's too shiny.
so they're gonna come after. Yeah,
Guys,
they're not very smart. So they're gonna go after then Jasper and Azaka.
Oh, it's
You guys are about the same size, but Azaka's got more skin on her because she has 2 arms. So
yeah.
you're gonna go after her.
2 flesh
Um,
arms. I have
I
2
Three of them
arms
are
now.
I
3
don't
of
know.
them are
I
gonna
would
go
say at
after
this
her,
point,
and they leap towards her, and she doesn't even really bother trying to stop them. There's just like a vaguely annoyed look that flashes over her
Ugh.
face.
I love
Oh, I
Um,
want to be her so bad.
our favorite character right there.
She
you
doesn't
see like
have
one of them like
claws. It's
slams
a
its jaw down into her forearm, and it just like comes off with broken teeth. Her arm is completely like nothing happened. Jasper, the 2
Incredible.
coming after you.
Yeah.
So it leaps at you like just as you're getting up. It's gonna leap at you from behind. 21, I think, is gonna hit with its claws. You're gonna take
Mhm.
4 points of damage from that, and then 23 is gonna hit. So it like leaps onto your chest, rakes down, and then takes 7 points of damage as it clamps its jaw down on you,
In total, or is that on top of the 4?
on top of the 4.
So
Then
11. That's cool.
another one is gonna come after you. That's gonna hit as well. You're gonna take, so like this one leaps on you and you're kind of startled, and then one jumps on you from behind, and you're gonna take 5 points of damage as that thing's claws stab into your back. And then Yeah, that'll hit too. You're gonna take another 3 as it gets in there from your it clamps onto the back of your neck. It doesn't get a lot, but it does take off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, so that's what they're gonna do. Div, it's your turn.
Great. Fantastic.
Wait, hold on. Do I get a turn before Div?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do. That's right. I forgot. I
Awesome.
erased half my initiative order and I forgot to put you in there.
It's
My
so
bad.
I was wondering. I thought I got to go. So I have one question. I have a few questions. First question: does Div count as an area of flame?
No.
Darn it. Second question: how many velociraptors are within 10 feet of the fire? I guess we don't have a campfire. We do not need one of those at Shoal.
No, those are a lot of effort and also a horrendously terrible idea.
Terrible idea. Okay, well, there goes that plan. It was a really good plan.
Sorry.
You were wondering, but there it goes. Next question. How many of them can I get in a line 5 feet wide and 30 feet long without hitting any of my friends if I move?
I have 4 on me, so
You
probably
got 2. You've
Yeah.
got 2 on you, Jasper. They just
I
they
have
just
more
claw a
on me.
lot.
Oh, they attack twice.
Everything has multi-attack.
Gotcha.
So, in answer to your question, I would say these things, the way that they can fit a lot of them in a small space because they're not that big, and they just tend to just pile on something. Is their plan. So there are 2 that Nephis has tossed off that I'd say you could get without getting Nephis, and 2
If
that
I
are still
was
right up there.
possibly willing to get no, never mind.
I do go.
Are you
direct
suggesting
attack.
hitting me?
I
ma'am?
was,
Excuse me?
but I've looked at this possibility again, and I've decided that Velociraptors are probably pretty dexterous, so this is maybe not the best plan.
Jasper, while being attacked, just shouts, "Don't crowd around, spread yourselves out. Or at least get away from me."
All right. I will go over to the one that Nephis is attacking, or the group that Nephis has hit already, and make an attack on the one that's been attacked. I know there's one that Caylona is fighting, but I'll do the one that Nephis hit.
Oh, Caylona killed that one. It's dead.
Oh, even better. I'll do the one that Nephis hit then. Marcius pulls a charm from his ear, and it elongates into a spear, and the way he holds it is a little bit surprised for a minute. He's expecting a longsword, but the longsword's long gone. And then he secures his grip around it. He's trained with this. He knows how to use it, even if it's not his weapon and it's inlaid with Liru's designs. But he'll make an attack. I got a 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Cool.
Yes.
8 piercing damage.
All right. You stab it. It's kind of getting up. It's looking towards Nephis, who's bleeding. Not like a lot. I mean, this is something that you've seen Nephis do.
Yeah.
Just shrug off these hits that would drop most people. And so
It only hurts a little.
It's
Just a
got
smidge.
it's trained towards Nephis, and then as it leaps towards her, like it's in the air, you just skewer it straight through the back and stop its momentum entirely. And then it slumps off the end of your spear, dead.
I'll make a second attack on whichever one is, if I'm in range to hit one that is already damaged, I'll attack that, and if I'm not, I'll just go for whatever one I am in range of.
Okay, yeah, there's definitely a bunch. So there's another one on the other side of Nephis that she threw off, and then there are 2 that are like clawing on Nephis right now.
I'll stab one of the one that's clawing on Nephis. I hit 5 piercing damage for that.
Okay.
And then I bonus action Marcius jerks his head towards Raynor, who will also make an attack on the one that I just hit.
All right.
Dinosaurs fighting each other. Let's go.
Dino
That
fight.
will also
Dino
hit. Proficiency bonus. Whoa, he's got weird stats, you guys. I'm sorry.
He's a
They
weird
got
little guy.
good
It's fine.
stats. He deals 10 force damage.
Okay. Yep.
Eh.
So you stab it, and then it kind of loosens its grip on Nephis, and Raynar comes in and he grabs the thing by the jaw and then jerks it, and you hear a quick, or by the neck, and you hear a snap as it tosses it off to the side.
Ooh.
F.
Awesome. Marcis sort of smiles at him and says, good man. I mean, good boy. And then falls into ready stance next to Nephis. That's the end of my turn.
Yippee.
It is your turn.
It's my turn. It's the blind guy's turn, which always does. Yep. Does anybody look particularly dead?
Don't worry about me.
I know.
Yes,
several people
yes,
are
I
fine.
do.
Does Nephis look particularly dead?
I'm good.
Fine.
Covered in
No worries.
claws. Yeah,
I'm still well over half.
Okay.
Remember, the best defense can also be a really good offense.
Mm-hmm. Jasper is closer, yeah?
Sure.
Yes.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Cool. Whichever Velociraptor that is currently on him that I can get a good look at, I'm going to guiding bolt it.
I love going last in initiative when I have really dumb plans.
I'm not going to guiding bolt it.
I'm going to fail to hit.
That's a 6. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Div, you're trying to orient yourself. All this noise coming in. I mean, Schultz is always kind of hard to navigate because there's so many little pieces, and then you get all the noise of all these creatures all of a sudden trampling all over and roaring. They're fuzzy and they're squirming, and so you shoot past Jasper, but you don't want to hit him, and you're a little overcautious.
That sounds about right.
Your shot goes a little wide. Anything else you want to do?
I can bonus action spiritual weapon.
Yeah! Bring up the spiritual weapon!
Ghost mace.
Ghost mace!
I can bonus bonk, maybe. The one I was trying to hit. Please? No.
Okay, don't worry. It's okay.
Div
Bro
is very
cannot see.
exhausted and stressed and tired, and it's like 5 a.m.
It is okay.
There's a lot of noise.
It is okay. It
But
is
the
Right,
spiritual
Gibbs, yeah,
weapon's up, yeah?
Yeah, the spiritual
Base
weapon.
forms and then swings, but again, it's hard to tell where things are, and then these things are fast, so you swing, but the swing is a little slow, and the thing moves out of the way, hissing at the spiritual mace, which is kind of entertaining to see. But
Hissing at the fire mace.
okay, Jasper.
cool. I'm gonna bonus action give Div a bardic inspiration.
Listen.
Jason, you're gonna need it. I mean, you might not because it's not a very high roll, but Jasper kind of just shouts at you to believe in your heart and you're doing your best and I'm proud of you. And then he's going to at the top of his lungs just shout back off and cast Thunderwave.
All right, these little guys are gonna roll a con save.
Yeah, they need, and anybody within 15 feet of me, so Div is also gonna have to make that.
Great.
I'm sorry. So I said
I
don't
might
worry
need
about
to use that bardic inspiration immediately.
That's why I gave it to you. Because I don't want
Yeah, what die is that?
I think it's only D6. Might be more than that right now.
No.
No, I'm on a D8. You get
You're
a
on a
D8. Yeah.
D8. Fantastic. Also, no.
What'd you get?
What's the DC?
14.
Yeah, that was an
14.
8.
Okay. It's okay.
They're gonna make it, Jasper. They dig
that's-
into you, and they're gonna make
That's
it.
okay.
But go ahead, roll your damage.
Jasper tries to flashbang a couple of velociraptors and only flashbangs Div.
Yeah, well, I told you to back off, but you didn't. So, Div, you're gonna take 14. The velociraptors are each gonna take 7.
Cool.
So they
So
definitely
Jasper-
don't seem like they let out low whines. They don't seem happy about that, but they're both still there.
Now you might want to help me. 'Cause they-
Okay, it is Azaka's turn. She's just gonna
Let's go,
start
Azaka!
Also, Div is
laying-
pushed very 10 feet away from me.
All right, yeah. So Div, you go just head over heels in a clatter until you slam into a tree. These velociraptors let out just whines. There's a boom that echoes up in the trees, and then Azaka looks towards you. Jasper, her eyes go wide. And she just says, "It was probably not the best idea."
That sucks. Everything in a 600-foot radius just now knows exactly where we're at.
Div in the
300
background,
feet, I'm
getting to
sorry.
his knees with his hands over his ears.
300 feet, I'm sorry. Not that loud.
As she says that, let's see if she's gonna deck a dinosaur.
As she should.
Dinosaur.
I'm immediately on how far away.
So
Gotcha.
she'll take that. She just like takes one of them, throws it off of her shoulder, and then stabs it twice, letting it drop to the ground. There's still two attacking her, but she doesn't seem too bothered about it. Then, okay, Nephis, it is your turn again.
Hey, I have a question. So, are any of them still attached to me? Is one of them still attached to me?
They're like they like jumped up and clawed, so they're down, and then they're jumping up to claw you again. So you have room
Okay.
to swing.
So, my question is, can I do a fun little like circle thing where I just like go and I go in a circle with my axe and try to hit the ones surrounding me?
Right now there's actually only one. The others have been killed.
Stick. Okay, then I'll just go for that one guy. I did roll a 16 to hit, so I'm assuming that hits.
16 will hit.
Yay! And also, I forgot about my ancestral protectors. So if this guy who I hit, if I don't kill him, tries to hit anyone else, he does have disadvantage. And if he hits anyone else, that creature gets resistance. I forgot about them, but they are floating around me right now.
Ghosts.
Damage is gonna be 10 points of damage.
Okay. So 10 yeah, you just like haul your axe around and you split this thing right down the middle.
Great.
Then
Is he dead?
Yep, it's dead.
Oh, sick. Awesome.
Anything else you want to do?
So there's no more around me anymore, right?
Yep.
Can I just turn and start heading towards the other, probably towards Jasper?
Mhm.
Great.
Careful of the puddle. That's mostly my blood.
Okay.
You just threw me across the map.
Yeah, and you missed twice. 3 times if you count my attack.
Okay. So yeah, you head back over there. You are right up in a close and personal
Great.
with the one there. And then anything else from you, Nephis?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. All right. So as you are all standing here, some things are gonna happen.
Oh no.
So as you are here, like you hit this dinosaur and then you move away, and a bunch of arrows are gonna start flying around. Well, so first off, there's let's see. Okay, so from above you towards where you're at, Nephis, an arrow shoots towards you. What's your passive perception, y'all, by the way?
It is. Wait, how? I don't have mine written down. How do you calculate that again? Sorry.
It's your perception plus 10. So whatever your perception modifier is, add 10 to that.
Okay, yeah, mine
11.
is 12.
15.
13.
Mariah, what's yours?
Sorry, I couldn't hit the mute button. 16.
16? Okay. So Caylona and Div, you two are not surprised. The rest of you are.
Well, Div can't be surprised anyway because he has the alert feat.
Div is extra not surprised.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been surprised anyway.
Not surprised.
Immune to surprises.
For what it's worth, Raynor is also not surprised.
Okay.
Good the dog isn't surprised.
So Raynor, that would matter if Raynor got a turn on its own without you telling it to do stuff, but Raynor doesn't, so that's not gonna affect us this time. Okay, so first off, an arrow going towards you. I was gonna roll twice because they get advantage on that, but they don't need it. So I got a nat 20. All right, Nephis, I'm gonna need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Okie dokie.
Being surprised does something.
I
It just
got
gives-
11.
11. Okay, so you will take the full of this, I believe, because this is poison. So you'll take this in full. You'll take
Great.
8 points of poison damage,
Okay.
and then cut this in half. This is piercing. You'll take 9 points of piercing damage. Wait, 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Ouch.
Then, as you're going, you see a lot of little creatures spring up from behind where the velociraptors were coming from, kind of out from behind them. And as they come, they're roughly the same height, maybe even a little shorter. And they are small humanoid creatures, only a couple feet tall. Most of them that you can see have bright green skin with a few black markings, wide bulbous eyes, and they're all covered in a thin sheen of slime as you are looking at what looks like a bunch of tiny amphibian creatures, specifically frogs.
Yes!
Frogman.
Bullywugs!
Bullywugs.
They're not bullywugs.
They're not?
Bullywugs are tall. These are not. You
Short little guy!
Smollywogs.
Molly!
and so they come up after you, and there are a whole bunch of them. So they're gonna go after what they think. We're gonna say, so Div, you're back up against the tree. So 3 of them are gonna come after you there.
Yay.
I'd like to take this time to apologize.
Jasper,
Yeah,
still
thank you very
getting-
much for that thunder wave.
I'm apologizing to everybody, but double apologizing to Div.
You're not. Let's see. 2 of them
I'm
are still
covering-
Jasper. 2 of them are on you, so they're not going to worry about you. Nephis, you're going up that way, so they'll come after you, and so there will be 3 of them are going to come after you, and then 3 of them will come after you as well, Marcius.
Cool. I'm gonna, for what it's worth, impose disadvantage as a reaction on one of the rolls.
Are you surprised?
The dog isn't.
Can the dog do that without you telling it to?
Um,
And can it move without you telling it to?
it's like a reaction that the dog can do. The dog doesn't take actions unless I tell it to.
But it can take that reaction.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so does it do it on one of the rolls? I'll just do that first one so we can see
Okay.
here. So this creature comes at you and then it stabs at you. Well, it throws a knife at you. They're standing a little bit back. They're like up in the trees, and it throws a knife down towards you. It will get disadvantage though. Roll the same thing. What's your AC again?
13.
13. Okay, it will hit.
Oh,
He tries to jump up in the way and doesn't quite get over the way. With their overhead perspective, they're going to get around you anyway. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
one save, baby.
These things deal poison damage.
16.
16. Okay, so you feel something enter into you, but you like shudder and resist it, and you will just take 5 points of piercing damage from that one. Then the other two are gonna go after you. One of them, like the knife is right past your ear. You spin out of the way, and then as you're spinning there, you spin incidentally into another one, which cuts across your shoulder. And I need you to make another Constitution saving throw for me.
15.
15. All right. So you're still not taking any poison. And you're going to take another 5 points
Okay.
of piercing damage as that slams into you. Then Div, the one's going after you. What's your AC?
19.
19. Okay.
I'm well aware that your dice only see that as a challenge.
You're also prone right now. So you have not had a turn yet.
Yep.
Okay. That's going to hit. Div, make me a Constitution saving throw.
On save, baby.
Is it
You're
against
Warforged, right? You don't have to do poison.
I'm going to have advantage on poison, and I'm resistant to poison damage.
Yeah. So you will roll that with advantage.
Yeah. Con save 14.
14. All right. You're not taking any poison. And then, but you will take 3 points of piercing damage as this knife kind of like scrapes across you. It seems like they're a little confused as to where to stab you. They're not really sure. So one of them just kind of goes and he hits you. Doesn't hit that hard, but another one's gonna come after you. That was cocked. All right, that'll hit.
Yep.
You know the drill.
Yep. That's a dirty 20.
Okay, that'll make it. Take another 3 points of piercing damage. And this last one here is going to go after you as well. That is going to hit. If it makes you feel any better, even if I didn't have advantage, he still would have hit. If I had disadvantage, he still would have hit.
That's
I
21.
just rolled normal, he still would have hit.
Yeah.
Okay, and so yep, you're still taking nothing there, and you will take 6 points of piercing damage as this one actually gets into one of your joints.
Owie! Leave him alone! Come on!
I'm just a robot.
Okay. Caylona. A bunch of them are gonna come after you as you're kind of out on your own. So they're gonna throw some knives at you. We're gonna say 2 of them throw some knives at you, and then one of them's gonna throw a knife at Azaka, but that's not gonna do anything to her. So
Is it silvered? No. It doesn't matter.
all right, so Caylona, the ones, they're not rolling with it. But, okay, so that'll hit. Make me a Constitution saving throw, Caylona. You're muted.
Sorry, I really picked the wrong day to leave my seat at home. Oh, sheesh. I do that with my 20, right? My D20? I got 22.
22? Okay, yeah, a 22 will make it. So you won't take any poison damage, but you will take 6 points of piercing damage.
Wait, hold on. I can't hear you.
It sounds like this.
Okay, wait. Try talking again.
So you will take. You're not going to take any poison damage, but you're going to take 6 points of piercing damage.
Is there any way I
As
can
this,
dodge that or no?
do you want to do your thingy? You can cut that in half if you want.
Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait.
All right. So this other one is going to come after you. They are going to hit as well. Then you can do the dodge if you want.
Okay. How much is it though?
So it's just going to cut whatever the damage is in half. You're going to get resistance to the piercing, but make me another Constitution saving throw.
Oh, okay. That was bad. 8.
8. Okay. So you're going to take only, including your resistance here. So you like duck out of the way of the knife, so it just barely cuts across your cheek, and that's only going to deal 1 point of piercing damage to you. But in that, it leaves its poison there, and you will take 5 points of poison damage as well.
Okay.
That is the 2 there. One's going to throw a knife at Azaka for fun. Okay, then Nephis. Coming at you from above, there are these 3 creatures that have kind of crept up over the limbs of the trees, and so they're going to start throwing their knives down at you. And as you're looking up, now that you've seen these knives start flying from everywhere, you see that they rub the knife just along their arm, and then they throw it at you. So they don't have advantage. So that will hit though. Go ahead and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Please, bro. I don't got resistance against this. I gotta. Okay, I got a nat 20. So.
Yeah, you felt it once. It's coursing through your veins, and you're done with that nonsense. So it comes again, and you barely even
Happened
feel
once,
it.
never again.
And so you're gonna take, and you can cut this in half on your own, but you're gonna take 4 points of piercing damage from that one. Then another guy's gonna throw down at you, but this one you see coming. You step out of the way, and it just hits the mud near you. And then the last one is going to throw at you, but you see this one and you just jump back and the knife hits the mud. Okay.
Great.
So that's them. Now, those of you who aren't surprised, you're going to get to go in normal initiative order. The rest of you don't get to go yet.
Okay.
Which is going to be Div, Caylona, and well, your dog can't take any actions unless you tell it to. So, or your dinosaur. It's a dinosaur now, not a dog this time.
Dinosaur.
It's just a weird looking dog.
It's a reptilian dog. Okay,
Yeah,
so the Velociraptors are gonna go. Actually, no, wait, Caylona, you're gonna go. It is your turn.
Okie dokie. Okay, how many velociraptors are left?
So there are 2 Velociraptors on Jasper and 2 on Azaka.
Okay, we're gonna go we're gonna throw another one at the one that's not the one that is next to Jasper. You said they're on Jasper, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then we're gonna go at one of those, whichever one.
Go ahead and make it to hit.
Harder. Oh, oh, that was bad. It's 7.
7 will miss. Yes, you can, Tobin.
Okay.
So how do we all feel about retreating? Like, if I were to give us a safe place to go, would we all be okay with going there?
Probably.
Would we?
I
Yeah,
would
but if
personally
they
be
get
down.
like, they get what's it called? Opportunity attack.
If you disengage, use your action to disengage and then use your movement to like go somewhere, we might take 2 rounds because then they might be able to catch up to us. But it would involve climbing a rope. You have to climb a rope into a safe space, and we would be chilling.
No, this is the one time I regret not taking the spell Tiny Hut.
Tiny hut.
I don't have Tiny Hut.
Yeah.
So,
But like,
Caylona,
I can give us a spot to retreat to, but it only makes sense to do that if everyone's on board with huddling up and waiting invisibly.
Yes.
I'm not going to say no.
I'm down. I'm just confused as to like what we would need to do.
So basically, Marcius yells, I can give us a safe place to go if you all congregate, and then he like points to the middle of the camp. Get ready to climb a rope specifically.
That thing I'm really good at.
Throw back to the tower.
Safe place would be nice.
I
okay,
don't think
so
we would-
you Caylona, did you want to attack again on your turn?
Ooh, can I? Hold on.
You can do a bonus action and throw your other mind shank if you want.
Ooh, let's do that. Let's see.
Okay.
Attempt to. Okay, this time it's 17.
Okay, a 17 will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage there. And you can add sneak attack as well.
Okay. Ooh, 11, because it's 3 and then the 1, right?
Yep.
Okay,
And add your
so 11.
dexterity to that as well.
Okay, then 14.
Okay, yeah. So this first knife you throw, these creatures are moving along rather quickly, and so they jump out of the way. And then the second one you throw curves around and slices right through it, right as it's leaping towards you, Jasper. The thing drops to the ground dead.
Dog.
All right. Caylona, I believe that is your turn. So the living ones are gonna go. So Jasper, there's only one on you. And Nephis is near you, so it's going to have disadvantage, which is going to translate to... will translate to actual disadvantage. There's nobody else near it.
Yay!
Okay. So it swings towards you, and Nephis, what does your ancestral stuff look like? What is that?
It's these cool glowing blue guys who all are clearly very strong humans, just like me. And they all have very fierce expressions. They're all very buff. They're all holding weapons. Most of them have axes. So there's like 6 of them.
So one of them is like right in front of you, Jasper, as this creature like lunges towards you, and then it slows as it's passing through this spirit, which gives you more than enough time to step out of the way and just bat it to the side
Yay.
as it comes flying out with that first swipe of its claws, and then with its jaw, a very similar thing happens. It tries to leap towards you, and at first it's going crazy fast, but then as it passes through the spirit, it slows down, and you're able to get out of the way. Okay. So you are surprised. Div, you are not.
I am not surprised.
Let's go, Div!
I am, however, not doing good. Okay. So everything is a mess right now, yeah? Like, there's just people everywhere.
There are a lot of these little frog
Little
creatures.
guys. Yeah.
Still a couple of dinosaurs. All of you are kind of spread out. Marcius is kind of and Caylona are both kind of isolated, getting knives thrown at them. Whereas Jasper, Nephis, and Azaka are in a similar place. Azaka's not that close, but she's nearby.
Okay. Does everybody look beat up?
I could use some HP. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure
could
most
also
HP.
use some. I'm
Everyone
not gonna
but
say how low I am, but
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna mass healing word everybody.
Hell yeah.
That's 9 HP back.
for everyone,
Yes.
Major Slay. Wow, thank you.
Major Slay.
Well, actually, the opposite. What would that be?
Major Unslay.
Major anti-slay.
And then I can spiritual weapon bonk whoever is closest.
So where you were at, you can move it, but you'll have to move it up into the trees at this point to attack the people coming after Marcius as they're up in the trees.
There's people coming after me though, yeah?
Yes, they're not up in the trees. They're on the ground because you were on the ground. They're like, let's stab this guy.
Cool. I'm gonna spiritually try to bonk one of them.
Okay, make it to hit.
That's a little better. Okay. That's a 23.
23 will hit.
Ooh.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Incredibly average. Okay, that's 6 force damage.
Okay, yeah, so this thing, like, as you're just like blurring, you're getting ahead of your surroundings that you at least these things are close to. You can figure out where they are. Your mace comes bolting back towards you, just hovering through the air, and then it slams into one of them with a crack, kind of a wet crack, as it hits its back, and it lets out a croak, like its mouth swells and comes back, but it's still up. Boom. Okay. I have so many tiny numbers in this little section that I'm writing in right now. Okay. Anything else from you, Div? Or you?
That's everything I got. I could maybe like try to move a little bit.
You can get
With-
up if you want, so that you're not prone anymore. You can do that. That taking
Well, Thunder
opportunity
Wave doesn't knock people prone. It just pushes them away.
sends them flying. But yeah, so you're up. And then
Div lying on the ground. Heal. Okay, now I'm gonna stand up.
Can you move,
Div's got
like,
priorities.
back towards someone else just because I'm gonna probably put the rope trick near you?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I can.
If you
like,
can do that safe.
I don't know if I can like sidle over without taking like opportunity attacks because I'm very much not like running away or running my back or anything.
You can
I'm
kind of
trying to-
edge. You can edge a couple of feet, but not a lot. You don't have a ton of distance.
Yeah, I'm just trying to scoot towards everybody else.
Okay. Sounds good. Jasper, you are surprised. Sokka is not. So she will stab. She's gonna stab one of these dinosaurs. Okay, so yeah, she just another one of these dinosaurs comes after her, and she just again flings it over her shoulder and cuts it down. There's now only one of them that's still trying to lunge after her, and now that it's the only one there, it seems to be reconsidering its life choices a little bit.
Fair. I would be too.
Regretting.
Okay. So now we're back to regular. Well, actually, so Nephis, you were surprised, yeah. So you're gonna skip this turn, and then next turn you'll get a turn. So it is the frog's turn again, which has the most amazing species name that Azaka will tell you afterwards. But
I think I know what these are, but I'm not positive, so I'm not gonna say.
Mollywogs.
Smollywogs, I think we should go with.
So we'll start with the ones throwing knives at you, Nephis.
Right.
So that's gonna hit. Roll me a con save.
Right here. Poison got nothing on me. Oh no. I got a I got an 8.
Okay, so you're gonna take
Poison got a little on you, baby.
Just a smidge, just a small
Poison-
bit.
Just this
Poison
time,
doesn't
though.
like it when you talk to it like that. Okay, so you'll take 5 points of bludgeoning damage, but you can cut that in half, and an amount of
bludgeoning?
poison
Okay.
or not bludgeoning, piercing.
Sorry.
They're throwing knives at you. I'm tripping.
Wait, how much poison was it?
4 poison on top of that.
Okay.
Scott's
Sorry, I
losing.
missed that.
So, that's the first
I
one.
hate
The second
poison.
one is going to hit you as well. Go ahead and
What?
roll me
My
one of them
gosh!
con
Leave me
saves.
alone! Okay, that time I got a 19. So.
All right, so it'll just be 5 points of piercing damage, and you can cut that down. And yeah, as these 2 knives hit you, you kind of get distracted looking around. You're like, there's a lot of these little guys. You try to dodge out of the way, and these 2 blades hit you, and then you look up as you see the last one coming, and you knock it to the side with your axe, just sending it flying off into the foliage somewhere. And then, so those are the ones on Nephis, Caylona. The 2 on you are going to come after you. They're going to start throwing some knives down. What's your AC, Caylona?
I think it's 13. Let me check.
Probably 14 with your AC with what it is. But yeah, so those will both hit you.
Anyway, I think it's 13. Or not 13, 14.
14. Oh, also, did you hear that you got 9 hit points back from Div?
How many points did you say? 2? I see. Sorry.
9.
9? Lit. That's super nice.
Okay. So both of these are going to hit you, so go ahead and roll me 2 Constitution saving throws.
Ah. Okay, I got 22 and then 6.
Okay, so on the 22, you'll be good to go. You'll take 6 points of piercing damage from that.
Okay.
And then on the other one, you're going to take another 6 points of piercing damage. So 12 total of piercing damage. And then on top of that, another 3 points of poison damage as these 2 creatures right above you, like you take the time to throw and take out one of these velociraptors attacking Jasper. And then the other one throws a blade, and it both lice across you. Then we're going after. Okay, so that's all of them going after you. Then Marcius.
Hello.
What's your AC, Marcius?
13.
13? Okay. So I assume that one of these guys is getting disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just say the first one. Okay, that did not make a difference. He'll hit anyway. Funnily enough, the one that missed did not have disadvantage. But
Oh, nice. Sometimes it'd be like that.
So
con
okay.
save.
So make me 2 con saves.
2 con saves. Pass. And does a 14 do it?
14 will do it.
Awesome.
I'm
Both
gonna
of them pass.
grab this other D4 here. Okay, so so you then are gonna take I'll just add the total together of the two knives, as all 3 of them are throwing these knives from above. And both of the knives hit pretty solidly, but you managed to just grind your teeth and dig in resist the poison. So you're going to take 6 points of damage from each of those knives.
Okay.
If
You might be able to make this.
I d-
not sure.
But no poison. Div, the guys coming after you, there are 3 of them.
Mhm.
Little frogs.
I'd be able to help, but I got scared.
I could drop kick them into the sun if I wanted to, and yet here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Div. So the first 2, they lunge at you, but now you've got your defense in. You have your shield out. You just slam one blade away. It clangs off of the metal uselessly, and then you knock another one off of just your forearms. Then, as you were doing that, you didn't notice the last one that came up behind you, and it jumps up and it stabs you in the back. Con save for me.
A con save, you say? Da, 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 da. 14. That'll
All
make
right, you're good to go. But you will take 6 points of piercing damage as this knife stabs into the back of you,
it.
right in a joint. Okay. One of them's going after Azaka, but it's learning to realize that going after Azaka doesn't do much. That's that. Jasper, they're still not going after you because you still got a dinosaur trying to eat you. So they're not worried about it yet. And then this last one. Oh, what does he want to do? So as this comes again, you can see that there is one of them in a tree, and this one has orange skin instead of green skin.
Ooh.
And it pulls an arrow back, and it's going to see, where does it want to aim that?
What was that?
Let's see. Out of y'all, which one of you would you say is the most bloodied right now?
Div doesn't bleed.
Div does not bleed. Div's not really visible in damage.
I'm pretty okay.
My damage is all.
I don't. I have like. Well.
Are you below half?
I am very much below half. Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
I can
probably.
say half isn't the worst.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've also just
so
been getting stabbed a lot, so. it
Yeah,
probably
no
wouldn't
one's
be bad,
faulting
even
you
if
for
I-
Literally, no one would ever fault you
Yeah,
ever.
we're not blaming you.
No, we're
Okay.
blaming Jasper.
Yes, we are.
so it's going to shoot an arrow towards you, Nephis,
Awesome.
and that is going to hit. You know how this
Great.
goes.
Yes. This is the time. If I'm gonna roll well, anytime. Now is the time. There's a con save, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I got an 11.
And 11 is not going to do it. So you're going
Great.
to take 7 points of piercing damage. Round that down though. And then 5 points of poison damage.
Okay, I'm down.
All right, so you guys just like see this like one creature in the tree. There's like this flurry of attack, and then there's a half-second wait as a single arrow just comes in and it hits Nephis right in the back. And then you hear just like a satisfied croak from its throat as Nephis stumbles and then drops to the ground.
No!
Evil
they
frog.
want? What do these people want?
Then Nephis, notably, you're not making death saves. You're just out.
Oh. Interesting.
What do you mean the frogs aren't using lethal poison?
They're
Everyone
about
get
to take
knocked
us
out
back to their
fast.
camp and roast us over a little fire. That's my
It
prediction.
might be a little hard for
Caylona, it is your turn.
Okay, I have an idea. What if I just took one other person and we ran away, and then when everyone else was knocked out, we followed them so we could save them later?
This is a great plan. There's also the rope
Sacrifice
trick
the
plan
many.
where you all climb into my safe pocket dimension. Once
The
we
one
get
issue with that,
what?
yeah, I can't climb a rope.
I know.
But,
We're working on that part too.
As long as
So,
I'm
okay.
alive, I can get Nephis back up, or like,
We have 2 people that can pick you back up. It's okay.
yeah.
That's true. Azaka and Div are both very buff.
Wow. Okay.
And
Fine.
you and Jasper.
I made a single mistake.
Okay, Usha.
I made a single
Listen,
mistake.
who
Hey,
casted
hey,
Thunder?
Listen, who's picked up
Hey.
everybody that they've hit 0 so far?
That's
It's
true. You do be
I've just
carrying
been
people.
I've just been
I'm
faster.
sorry.
Div gets to go first.
I'm
He'll
sorry,
probably
I
get it.
forgot your role as dead person carrier. I will remember that in the future.
No, that's Div's job. I'm just the encourager.
Okay. So, Caylona, yeah, what do you want to do?
Can I knife throw at the thingies in the trees?
You sure can.
Okay, which one is closest to Nephis?
There are 3 that are above Nephis right now.
Okay.
But now that Nephis is down, it looks like they're going to look elsewhere, probably towards Jasper or Div.
Okay, I still want to shoot one of them.
God, please.
So pick any of the 3. 20. No, I got 17.
Okay, a 17 will hit. And because they're not within 5 feet, so you won't have sneak attack on this. So just roll. This is your first throw, so a d6, and then add your dexterity to that.
Okay, sorry, you said 1d6? Okay, that's 4 with the dexterity.
Okay, and then if you want to throw again, you can do that. Let me mark that.
Ooh, yikes. Okay, we got 11 for the second one.
So 11 is going to miss. You get close. Like the first one hits through it and it just lances through the creature as these blades do. They're not actually like physically manifest. They cut through their minds as much as anything. And so it lets out like a startled croak as all of a sudden you start throwing at it and it like looks back over to where you are. And then the second knife that you throw curves right past it and it just barely dodges out of the way. Then anything else you want to do on your turn?
I think that's it. Unless I need to run over to Marcius or something.
Or just go towards Div if you can.
Okay, I'll go. How close is Nephis?
So Nephis is lying on the ground, I'd say about 20 feet away from where you are right now.
In the opposite direction of Div?
No, towards Div.
Yeah, go
Towards Div? Okay.
Yeah, also go towards Nephis. That's totally valid.
He's gonna
Nephis
run towards
also
Div
valid.
then. That works.
Basically, it's like, so they're all kind of in a line down there. It's like Div's off to the side where he got, like, Div used to be right next to Jasper, but then got blasted, and that's where Div still is. And Nephis came up right next to where Jasper is, and then Azaka is about 15 feet in the other direction. So they're all, like, everybody is down there except for you and Marcius. And they're all in a rough line.
Okay. Could she grab Marcius and run down there, or just run?
Not at this point. I mean, Marcius is gonna run.
Okay, so
seem.
then she's just gonna run down there.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, you head down that way. Jasper, at this point, the Velociraptor on you is injured. It's pretty much alone. It's done. It's out of there. It just starts running off. You do get an opportunity attack if you want.
Cool. I'm just gonna try and stab it with my Ikowa. 21 to hit.
21 will hit. Go ahead, roll damage.
5.
All right. Yeah, as this thing comes across, you like whip out this weapon, take a deep breath. Are you using it with real arm or not real arm?
Realarm.
And you take a deep breath, and then as it spins past you, and you just stab down towards it, and it goes right in. You hit the thing, you pull it out, and then it lets out just a little bit of a squawk almost before collapsing to the ground, dead.
Take that, you overgrown chicken.
And Azaka looks towards you, and she smiles, and she says, "That is how you use a Ikulwa. Well done."
I'm learning. Sort of.
And she says this as there's like a creature like trying to eat her neck.
It's just so chill.
All right. Yeah, that it I mean, I could roll, but I'm not going to. Then, Marcius, it is your turn.
Okay.
Let's go,
How many?
Marcius.
There are no dinosaurs. How many frogs?
80, 100.
There are a lot.
A lot of
If-
frogs. Okay. I'm gonna cast rope trick where Nephis and Caylona are.
Okay.
How we know these things are up in the trees. How far have we seen them like high jump, if at all?
You saw one high jump behind where Div is. You're not entirely sure, but it seems like being built the way that they are, these things can probably get pretty darn high.
Okay.
They're frogs.
I'm gonna go 30 feet then above them. There's just like a rope dangling out of the sky. It disappears into just sort of this haze of invisibility about 30 feet up. And Marcius is like, up there! Go up there! Chop chop! That'll be my
So-
action.
Yeah, and because Marcius, they're not in melee range of you, you don't take any opportunity attacks when you run over there, but you do have to run over there. So that is your movement, just so you know, to get down
Okay.
there. Unless actually, is it a range spell? Can you cast it at a range?
Yes, it is. So I
Okay.
haven't moved over there yet. I probably will, but yeah. No, actually I do need to move over there. Yeah, I move over there. I cast this on a piece of rope. It goes up. Can the orange guy in the tree, how far above the ground is it?
He is about 30 feet up.
Okay. If the dog were to try and get to it, would that's probably not even a thing that I should do. Nah, I'm gonna bring the dog with me. And use my bonus action to I'll just bring the dog over, cast rope trick, and then help people get up there if possible. Can I? It's probably an action to, and Nephis is already stabilized, so we're fine. That's it. That's all I do. Rope trick is up. My movement to get over there. The dog's here too. The dog is, circling protectively. The dinosaur is circling protectively. There we go.
Around
Up the
you
rope.
or around who? The rope?
Around the group of us.
Okay. So it'll just come into whichever attack goes first?
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. Div.
Okay. I've still got 3 on me. I've bonked 1. There's a rope now.
You could disengage and go up the rope, but that would mean no action for healing anyone. So it's up to you, but that's just...
If you have healing word, it's bonus action.
I have healing word and mass healing word. I have healing word and the better healing word.
healing word and healing word 2, the better.
The better one. The sequel.
I also have a healing word.
Mass healing word is. Mass healing word is also a bonus action.
Hell yeah.
Interesting.
Do that, disengage up the rope.
I assume this is like Marcius is like shouting this at you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then just Jasper, you ain't special. I got magic words too.
Can I see where the leader is. Like, is he in my range of vision?
I'd say so, but you are gonna have to make it's difficult to pick them out up there.
Okay. Okay. I just want to know if I know that he's there, basically.
You would.
Okay, great. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to action disengage, kind of scooch, like get over to the rope. He's very much not looking at where he's going. He doesn't need to. His head is like up, looking towards the thing. That's a D4, not a D8, as much as I would love for it to be. Everybody gets 10 hit points back.
Incredible.
10
hit points.
10 hit points.
10 hit points.
I'm back to full. Thanks,
I'm feeling
Div.
great.
And he'll just like as he's doing this, he'll just throw his head back and just try and ask the guy in the trees, "What do you want? What have we done?"
It just croaks, and Azaka turns back to you and it says, "They don't speak any languages that you do."
If only I had anything other than healing spells. Literally.
No, you're doing incredibly. It's like, hi, King. You're doing amazing. Nephis is up. I'm feeling great. Jasper's feeling great. Pretty sure Caylona's doing all right. Did you get hit points when you cast that? Yay!
Yeah, she's vibing.
Don't beating yourself up. You're doing amazing.
So, Div, as you, you just like this. What does that look like? What does this mass healing word look like?
Div grips his medallion, and as he runs, his mouth opens just the tiniest bit, and this wisp of flame escapes, and kind of really quickly flashes and curls around everybody.
Div, did you mean the best character?
And Jasper, you just feel like as this goes around you again, all of the claw wounds on your back just feel shut until there's no pain there at all. And it is your turn.
My turn?
Yes, Pelham.
Up there, up.
So there's nothing immediately attacking me, correct?
Nope.
Cool. I'm gonna run over to that rope. I'm gonna start climbing.
All right. You start climbing up the rope. You can use your dash action. It's 30 feet, you said?
Yeah, 30 feet up.
Okay, you can use your dash action if you want to get all the way up.
Yeah, because everything I try to do is not going to be helpful, so I'm just going to do that instead. Just dash up.
All right, you just haul yourself up the rope.
I mean,
you're glad
I
you have
could,
2 arms for this.
Yeah, I could make a mini tornado, but that's too extra.
We're not prepared for that. We're not ready for it yet as a society. The badassery would be too much.
Okay. Azaka's just gonna keep doing her thing. She's gonna stab that one dinosaur still going after her. And kill that.
Great.
Kill it. Yep. So we've gotten through all the dinosaurs at this point.
No more dinosaurs.
So she just like tosses that to the side, and then she sheathes her sword and unslings her bow and gets ready to do stuff with that. Okay, Nephis, you are once again conscious.
Yay! I will gasp on the ground. Being poisoned does not feel good. And then I'll get up. Which doesn't that take half my action, my movement?
It takes half your movement.
Okay, but I'm right by the rope, right?
Yes, it's like right next to you.
Sweet. Are there any little guys that I can hit really quick just out of anger of being like near me? Or if not, I'll just
Not
go up
in
the rope.
not in melee range, no.
Dang, that sucks. I hate these dudes. They're literally the worst. I never had
What do you
beef
mean
with
I can't
frogs,
wake
but
up
now
and
I
find
do.
one? Eyes open.
I'm sorry.
No, actually, I will.
You're
Um,
fine. Do
Yeah, I'll
not
just
worry about
climb up
it.
the rope.
Okay. Yep, you start climbing. Are you using your action to dash?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna say that'll probably get you at about 20 feet up there.
stick.
So you've got another 10 feet to go. But also, I'm gonna say that while you're on a rope, and it's a lot harder to defend yourself.
That is true.
We're all gonna die anyway. Good to
Please don't
know.
kill me again. I just got hit points back.
Okay, so now did you actually have a turn unconscious? Or were you conscious again by the time it hit your turn?
I don't know if I had to turn unconscious.
Yeah, so
think
if you didn't, then I think your rage is still going here because your rage ends if you're unconscious, but you didn't take a turn while you were unconscious. So I think you're back up and still good to go there.
Great.
Nice.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Score, baby, score.
When you put too many inputs in.
I'm still
Okay.
just as mad. Great.
It's like that fade when you're really close to falling asleep, but then you jerk yourself awake.
So that's your turn. It is their turn now. So the three that were after you are just gonna like converse with each other in just a quick series of croaks you hear coming across from all of them, and then one of them lets out like the big one lets out this big long croak. And then the ground underneath you all around that rope shifts and sharpens as spikes jut up all the way across the ground. So,
Oh no, bro.
any of you that try to move on said ground are gonna have a tough time of it. Let me know when we get there.
Many of us are on the ground.
I'm on the ground.
So right now that is going to be who Marcius, the dinosaur, as well as Caylona if she moves up to you. It's past where Caylona is actually at, and then Div you as well.
Okay.
But Jasper, you were gone. Nephis, you are not up there right now. That being said, the three who were attacking you, one of them is like slightly, it got slightly injured by Caylona, but it's so that one's going to turn its attention towards Caylona, but the other two are going to throw knives at you.
Who?
The other two frogs.
I throw knives at Nephis, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm imposing disadvantage on one of them.
You cannot. They're in the
cannot.
trees. There is no way
Never
that
mind.
the dog can get
You're
20
on
feet
your
in the
own,
air.
Nephis. I'm sorry.
That's okay, bro. It's all right.
Nephis, your AC you said was 16?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this first knife is thrown at you, and even though you're on a rope, you have no interest in getting impaled again. And so you swing out of the way, and the knife goes flying past you. Then the next one is going to hit you. You know how this goes.
Okay, that's an 8 con save. So
Okay, so you're going to take 5 points of piercing damage and 6 points of poison damage.
And Nephis has fallen off of the
Okay.
rope.
Yeah, do I fall? I'm still up, but do I fall?
If you're still conscious, you're not going to fall.
Great.
And then this one that's towards Div, but as you're like hanging on there, one of them just kind of croaks in frustration towards another one. And Caylona, this one is a little well, it's gonna his friends are yelling at it, so he's gonna see if he actually wants to go after you because he's in a vengeance mode, but his friends are like, no, throw the knife at that one.
Go for the vengeance. Go for that.
So we'll see. He's gonna do that.
Make it
Taunt
more-
him. Caylona, taunt him.
Being
Wait.
obnoxious is a
Yeah,
free
be
action.
obnoxious towards the guy who's mad at you, so he doesn't throw a knife at Nephis. Do it.
Okay, she's just gonna. She doesn't have much that she really. Her personality, okay. She's just gonna kind of stick
Throw
her
a
tongue out
freaking
at it,
rock at
and
him.
then that probably doesn't actually work. So she's gonna pick up a rock and throw the rock at it.
All right, so you just kind of generally throw the rock towards it. I'm gonna roll 2 of these. Let's see. All right, so it's like looking back towards Nephis, but then you like yell something and throws at it, and it's like, nah, I'm going this way. So it's gonna throw a knife at you. I don't know why I rolled with advantage. It didn't have advantage. Let me do that again. Okay. That will hit. So go ahead and make me a con save.
10.
Okay. 10 is not going to make it, so you're going to take 5 points of piercing damage and 5 points of poison damage.
Okay.
And then another one
I-
is going to continue up.
Can I dodge the next one, or is that something I can only do like once?
Yeah, so you can dodge the next one. You can do that once per round. So basically
Okay.
once per every one of your turns you have. So the next one throws a knife at you and it hits, but you're gonna dodge out of the way. Make me another con save and then I'll just cut it in half, 2, because it was easy math. 2 points of piercing damage instead of 4.
I got 3, by the way.
For your con save?
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that one is that knife like slashes across you, and at this point, all of you have gotten a ton of little cuts from these knives, and then have them healed by Div, and then put back again. But you are going to take 7 points of poison damage from that one, as it seems to have gotten you especially deeper and especially big coat of it.
Yikes.
Then, so those are the ones on you, Caylona. Then another one, the last one, also throws its knife towards you, but you dodge to the side, and then it croaks in frustration. Div, the ones on you are gonna keep doing their thing.
Yeah.
So 19. Okay. So Div, the 3 of them, they lunge after you, trying to stab you, but you knock their blows aside. Just slamming them off. These are little daggers, and unless they get a good angle on you, they can't deal any damage. So there's just the sound of metal scraping off of your arm. All right. Then Marcius.
Great.
Now, on one of these guys, oh no, it's not your turn. You're getting stabbed.
Oh,
On
right.
one of these, you could impose disadvantage with your guy if you wanted, because
I will do so.
Because that's served
So-
so well until now.
Well, I might as well,
I'll do
right?
that
The reaction's
for
wasted
this.
if I don't use it.
First one. Okay, so yeah, a knife is thrown at you, and then he jumps up and it knocks off of the, not really armored carapace, but like thick wood, just kind of bounces off with a thunk. Then the other 2 other knives are going to get thrown at you. Your AC's 13, you said?
Yep.
Okay, so one of those will hit. Go ahead and roll me a con save.
Nat 20.
Okay. Yeah, you are in poison resisting mode. You're getting used to this. You think you could build up an immunity at this rate, but you will take 6 points of piercing damage as this thing slams like right into your shoulder from above you. Okay. So that's those 3. Then the one who was throwing at Azaka is going to get yelled at by its friends, because I mean, throwing at Azaka doesn't seem to be doing much. So it's going to throw instead at Nephis. Nephis, it's going to hit you with a nat 20.
Rip. We were doing so well too. It's okay.
Okay.
First off, for the piercing, notably nat 20s won't double the poison because the poison is separate. It only doubles the dice
Okay.
of the technically it's the attack, but at least in the way that I rule it, I'm like poison is poison. It's just there. A nat 20 is
Yeah.
the weapon itself. So go ahead and make me a con save for that though.
I got a 22.
Okay, so you're gonna take no poison, and then you can cut this in half, but it's going to be 7 points of piercing.
Okay. I am down again, so I will fall into the spikes.
Can
Yes,
I
so you're gonna fall.
Because I'm right underneath the rope. Is there any way I can do that? Or like soften the fall, take some of the.
I'm gonna say go ahead, make me an athletics check. If you succeed, you're gonna catch Nephis. The weight of Nephis is gonna slam you into the spike, so you're gonna take the spike damage. But
Okay. Does that prevent Nephis from taking any death savings from that?
yes, it would if you were to catch her.
If I were to catch her. Okay. I'm doing athletics.
Yep. I'm gonna say DC 15 for this.
Okay.
Nephis is rather heavy. She's
Yeah,
too
I'm
ripped.
a big girl.
Birth guidance is a bonus action.
It's an action, I think. And I've got I'm pretty I got good adds to this, so
yeah.
Should be all right.
Can't reaction anything. So.
19.
19. All right, so you're gonna catch. So you catch Nephis.
Good job, bro.
As Nephis is dropping, as this other frog just kind of like lets out a sigh and then just like half annoyed flicks its knife at Nephis, which is just an incredibly accurate shot somehow, like right in the back. And then Nephis drops, and you catch her in that wake is going to slam you down into the spikes. And you're going to take 6 points of piercing damage from that.
Thank you
fine.
for catching me.
It's gonna be okay.
No, it will not.
It's gonna be okay.
Okay. So that is that. That's all them frogs. Caylona, it's your turn.
Up the rope.
Okay.
You squished under Nephis.
I'm not gonna lie, I was like listening, but kind of. Did we cast Nephis?
You did.
They did. Okay. Congrats. Good job. Well done, team.
Thank you.
We have accomplished it. She's gonna throw at that same froggy thingy again.
Okay. You can do that.
Okay, cool. That was 5.
Yeah, so a five is going to miss. You and this frog, which have sworn vengeance at each other, have not managed to kill each other yet. And this frog is like full send. It's got like its eyes narrowed, which wasn't something you knew frogs could do. And
and it just did it. It's like grr. Okay, my second. I'm gonna try to hit it again. Throw another one, and it's gonna be 16.
That'll hit. Go ahead, roll your damage.
Okay.
That's sad.
This is 1, right?
Novella.
1. I think it's 7.
Okay, 7 points of damage. How do you want to kill it?
Yes. Hey, queen.
Through its left eye.
Through yeah, so through one of its narrowed eyes, your blade just shoots right through, comes out the end. I mean, it's not even solid matter, but it comes out and the frog just like lets out like it's like puffing itself up about halfway, getting ready to throw back, and then it just stops and drops off, hitting the ground with just a wet slap as it hits the mud. So where did I put my pencil? There it is. Frog is
Up
gone.
the rope. Climb the rope. Use your movement.
You can use your movement and your bonus action to do that if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh wait, actually, you're no, you're not. Never mind. I'm tripping. That's a different person. Yeah, so you can get up there.
Cool.
He's losing.
I
He's going
could make y'all roll athletics to get up a rope, but I feel like adventure-y types are that athletic. You know, that's my personal opinion. So, that's how I run ropes. If anybody's curious. All right. So there's that.
Also, we're very
Caylona, then no more dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are gone or dead. Only one survived beforehand.
F's in chat.
Marcius, it is your turn.
Awesome. I've got Nephis on top of me. Can I hold action until Nephis is no longer on top of me by some means involving Jasper or Div and possibly a healing spell?
Hold action to what?
I do have regular healing words.
What?
Hold action to do what?
To climb the rope.
Okay, so that would be holding to dash.
Yeah.
Which you could do. Then yeah, as you're up near there. Oh, Caylona, I forgot. You had to cross some spikes to do that. So you had to cross 10 feet of spikes. So you're gonna take 16 points of damage from that. Crossing the spikes as you're on your way up. Okay.
Is there a creature on the ground?
No. Well, actually, no, there are. There are some with where Div's at, but you'd have to move to get there.
I'm gonna send the dog. Bonus action.
Okay, the dog is going to take some points of piercing damage from this.
Okay, dog can take it. I'll attack one of the ones that's on Div, or the dog will.
The dog is going to take 7 points of piercing damage.
Cool. Does a 12 hit?
Yes, it does. A 12 will hit.
Nice. 11 points of force damage.
Okay, yeah. So your dinosaur dog like lunges towards one of the ones on Div, and then is it one of the uninjured ones or the one that Div had hit with the mace?
The one that Div had hit.
Debunked.
Yeah, so it lunges onto that and it grabs it by the back of, well, its jaws are big enough to pretty much fit around this thing's head, and so it just grabs that and then tosses it off to the side where it crunches broken against a tree.
Good job, Raynor. Okay, cool. That's it. That's all I've got.
Hey. Div, your turn.
Okay.
Climb up the rope, climb up the rope, climb up the rope.
How far am I from the rope?
10 feet.
Okay. Okay, here's what I can do. A bonus action healing word, Nephis. You get 6 hit points back.
Merci beaucoup.
And then I will try to make it to the rope and get up at the rope without dying.
All right. So you are going to take 17 points of piercing damage.
Ow.
Are you okay? Are you alive still?
I'm alive.
Oh God. Okay. And you get up the rope into the whole thing, right?
Mm-mm.
Presumably.
If you dash, so rope is going to cut your movement in half.
Oh,
So, and also these spikes are going to cut your movement in half. So it's going to take you 20 feet to get there, and then you only have 5 up, and then another 15. So you're 20 feet up. Rope.
Okay.
Or stay out of the way. I need to get down. Jasper yells from the top of the rope.
Jasper, who's just chilling in a pocket dimension. Jasper, it is your turn, but also another thing that I will say here, it will be difficult for you to climb over each other on this rope, as it's just a rope dangling
Can you,
from
like,
nothing.
There are just people in the way on the rope.
There is Div is on the rope right now. Just Div.
How far up on the rope is he?
20
Like
feet.
20.
So he's got 10 feet more to go. Could you like help him in any way?
I was gonna try and help the other two get up the rope. I want to start to climb down the rope and get to Div and try something really weird that I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do. If
Heck yeah.
I upcast enhance ability, I can target another creature. Who else would I be able to target?
So what's the range?
It's touch, but it doesn't say I have to be able to. It's not within range.
So
Just says
touch range means you have to touch them.
you can target one additional creature for each slot. It has to be within range.
Mhm.
Well, Div, you're in my way. So
Well, I'm sorry.
it's
You want me to
fine.
drop to the ground? I can do that. I can just hit the ground.
I can
and
harm
like
from a
tin
distance
can.
and I can help by touch. No, you're fine. I've screwed this whole thing up.
We're chilling. We're climbing a rope. We got this.
Nothing about this is stressful at all. We're all just going to die.
We're fine.
No. Gonna be honest, Chief, I don't believe you.
Is there a spot down there that I could land without landing on spikes?
No.
Cool.
Cool.
Just stay at the top of the rope.
All right, we'll let Marcius and Nephis deal with it. I'll just stay at the top of the rope. I'm gonna sit here and not do anything. So there's nothing I can do.
Alright.
Could you like help action Div in any way to help him up the last 10 feet? Is that like something you can make a roll for, Scott?
I'd say you can do that if you want. If you just want to like reach your hand out so that when Div gets up there, he can grab it and lift. And you can lift him up. I think you could do that as an action.
Okay. Who is looking worse down at the bottom?
Nephis.
As I reach my hand to help Div, I'm also going to shout a healing word at Nephis. Just remember the show's not over yet. And then I'm gonna help Div up.
Oh,
You
Okay.
take 6 points of healing back.
oh, thanks.
6 points healing damage. Beautiful. Okay, so it is Azaka's turn. Who does
Just for my stress levels, Scott, Div is now in the pocket dimension.
No.
No.
Div will be able to go there on his turn. All of this happens at like instant speed, so all of these actions pretty much happen at the same time. So it's like Jasper's reaching down, but there's less than 5 seconds technically between when that happens. But
Gotcha.
that's just Jasper prepping, like leans out, shouts the healing word. Div is moving up, but at the same time as Div is moving up, the frogs are also moving, and
Yeah.
they're gonna get to do their thing. But Azaka, what does Azaka want to do? She'll just yell towards you. She can't really see exactly what's going on right now, but she'll just say, "Who do you need me to drop?"
Orange.
She nods, and then she's going to shoot at that guy. Whose AC is a number. Okay, she will hit said guy
Good for her. Girl boss. Queen.
twice. Okay, so she shoots an arrow into him, and he grunts, and then she shoots another one that is going to hit him as well. But he's still up. Not looking great, but still there. Then Nephis, it is your turn. You are once again brought back to consciousness. This time you are being held by Marcius, who you can see you're standing on these spikes, and Marcius's soles of the boots are visibly impaled.
Oh man.
I
Hi. Thank you. Did I fall off the rope? I'm assuming.
Yes, you are in my arms at the bottom of the rope. This might be a hold action until Div gets up the rope and then climb up the rope kind of situation.
That's if I get up the rope. There's a
Only
very
action
real
you take
chance.
It's clear.
Yeah, there's a very real chance I do not get up there. But we'll see.
Take my hand.
I need to
Take my hand.
get to my turn first for that to happen.
Oh yeah.
Can I try? Because are there any more guys on the ground?
There are. There are two that were attacking Div, then Div left. So they will be coming towards where you are at.
They're across a bunch of spikes. Just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
I've
But
Can I
they
throw
don't.
a javelin at one of them?
Sure, yeah, you can do that. Also, Azaka moved over. The spikes don't do anything to her, and so she's kind of like standing, trying to be in the way at least of coming directly at you guys.
I love
Aw.
her.
Hard eyes. Hard eyes. I'm gonna. So, question: can I throw a javelin and then start climbing up the rope?
You yeah, sure. You can do that as an action and then use your movement. I'm gonna say since I mean you're like in a weird in between of prone, but since the rope is right there, I'm gonna say you can just grab it and start hauling
Sick. Okay.
without needing to use the extra to get upright.
Yeah. So that I'm not raging anymore though, right? Because
No.
okay, that's what I assumed. Great. That's gonna be a 16 to hit by throwing the javelin.
Who are you throwing this at? One of the guys on the ground, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you,
Okay.
can you hit the orange one from here?
Could I hit the orange one from here?
The orange one
I mean,
is
that
30
would be
feet up,
ideal. But
which I believe
yeah, I
is
don't
your
know if I could
actually
throw
javelin
that high.
range is 30/120, so you could actually try and hit that if you wanted.
Would 16 hit him?
16 would.
Okay, then I'll, because he's a freaking one who freaking been stupid. So I'll
You
do
stab
it.
me, I'll stab you harder.
Yes, exactly. Okay, that will be 6 damage, piercing.
Okay. So yeah, you huck this javelin and it hits them along with a kind of like twists to the side and it cuts across them along with the arrows that are sticking out. But you feel like it deserves to look a little bit more like a porcupine because you certainly do right now. The amount of daggers impaled in you somewhere right now is a little ridiculous. Okay, so we've got that. 6 puts them
And
up
then I will
there.
climb. I don't know how high up I can get, but
You can get 15 feet up, which is
cool.
about right below where Div is at.
Sweet.
Okay.
I'm sorry for whatever comes next.
Um.
Can't be worse than what I did.
So Marcius, the
Might
two
be.
that are still on the ground are going to take a leap because they can do that.
Yeah, they can. They're froggies. Smally wogs. Let's go.
So they're going to take a leap towards you. And they're both going to try. Their goal is they want to try and stab you without hitting the spike. So that's what they're going to try and do. We're going to see how that goes for them. Hey, it's going to go not very well. So both of them like leap towards you with their knives out, and instead of landing on you, you just kind of like dodge backwards. You're already impaled a little bit, so it's kind of hard to move, but you dodge out of the way of one of them, and they're both going to land on the spikes. And take one of them took a lot more than the other. Yeah, wait, these two. And
If they could like impale themselves, that would be great.
So one of them like lands and you just like the spikes go up and it lets out like a long croak and then like tries to stab you, but it's really just pathetic. They're just in pain. And then the other one comes after you, but you manage to get your spear up and knock it to the side. Those are the two on the ground. Then there are still there are 8 of them in the air. So or up in the trees.
Frogs.
So they're going to, well, the big one is going to just settle its own curiosity. It's going to shoot an arrow at Azaka. Which Azaka is going to dodge out of the way of.
Good for her.
Then there are, so from where Azaka is standing, Azaka is going to give you half cover. So they're going to probably be throwing at you, Marcius, Div, and Nephis. As you guys are up there,
Well, yeah,
Marcius, you're
the
going to
other
get
ones
half
are
cover
hitting.
from Azaka. So what that's going to do is
cool.
that's going to add 2 to your AC
Nice.
from ranged things. So we're gonna say 4 of them are gonna come after you because they're confident that they can do that. But so adding 2, what's your AC again?
Who?
You.
Me. Now it's 15.
15? Okay, and is one of them getting disadvantage? Because you're the only one on the ground at this point. So
Yes.
okay. So this is disadvantage 1. And with Azaka in the way, that is going to miss.
Cool.
Then okay. But so another one comes at you and it just like deflects off of Azaka's shoulder. And then 2 more, they've got a better angle and they throw it over Azaka and the knives spin and they're gonna hit you. So make me 2 con saves.
Gun saves. I passed one of them. I failed the other.
Okay, so this first one, you are gonna take 5 points of piercing damage and then no poison.
Okay.
And then the second one, you're
5.
going to take 6 points of piercing damage and then another 6 poison.
Cool.
And then yeah, the rest of them. So those are the throws at you. Div, they're going to be 2 at you and 2 at Nephis. So
But you're like impossible to hit.
Demonstrably false.
We're hoping. I'm
okay,
crossing my
Div.
fingers
So there are
for it.
going to be 2 factors that are going to change this. Again, same rule. When you're getting things thrown at you while you're on a rope, they're going to have advantage. And also, you don't get the benefit of his shield because you don't have an arm to use the shield.
Yep.
So that puts your AC at 17, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Does he get the +2 from
I'm on the rope.
cover?
No, he doesn't have any cover.
Okay. Cool.
He is dangling out in the sky. Okay, so Div, the first one is thrown at you, but it just hits one of your metal, like reinforced metal plates on the forearm and just bounces off uselessly. And then the second one, make me con save, is going to hit you in between a joint in your back.
Great. Sorry, do both of them hit me?
Just one.
One of
Just
them.
one. And I'm still making the con saves.
Yep.
Please. Okay. That's 13. I don't think that's
Okay,
gonna do
13 will make it. So you're going to take 4 points of piercing damage from that, and that'll be it.
Wheezing.
Cool.
Okay, Nephis. 2 more knives getting thrown at you.
Great.
First one's gonna hit. Second one is your AC 16, you said?
Mhm.
Okay, so well, we'll see what this does. Roll me a con save.
That's gonna be a 17.
Okay, so you're gonna take no poison and you're not raged anymore, so you'll just take straight 3 points of piercing damage as it just kind of puts past you. It just puts another slice on your shoulder as it goes and then bounces off a tree next to you. And then another knife, you see them getting ready to throw and you swing yourself around on the rope so that it flies past you before you come back around.
Also, Queen.
All right.
So glad I saw it.
Then, so that is them. The boss one tried to shoot Azaka, did not. So, Kaylona's up there doing her thing. And then that puts it at Marcius. You are up.
Me. Okay. I'm
So Marcius.
gonna use my action to cast Cure Wounds on myself. Because if I go down, bad stuff happens to all of you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nothing. Cool. And then I will movement get up as far up the rope as I can, just hang it off after all these guys, and bring the dog back close as well.
Okay. Sounds good. So you are up there. All of you are now dangling from this rope. Div, your turn.
Great. I would like to climb up the rope.
All right, I'll say you can take, well, it doesn't really matter because you can do that with your full movement. But yeah, Jasper, you help Div up. You like reach down, the knife glances off of Div, and then Div like reaches up and you pull, and it's you kind of have to brace yourself. Like you're like, man, if I was not strong, this would be really hard because Div weighs a lot
Yep.
being made of metal.
Yeah.
He's tall and get Div into this little pocket dimension. Then Jasper, your turn if you want to do it. Or Div, did you want to do anything else? I should
You
say.
could give me more hit points.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Because I'm gonna do another round to
Yeah.
get there. So
We'll healing word Marcius here really quick.
awesome.
My dice just do not like working today. That's fine. That's 7.
Oh, that's still pretty good. Thank you.
You're lucky I'm a life cleric.
I know, I'm so lucky.
Because otherwise,
We're so lucky. We're literally so lucky. I love all of you.
that's about all I can do.
Okay, but
Okay.
you're in the demi-plane, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Div is up there. Jasper.
Also wanted to give me help. Or Nephis. That would work too. I don't know. It's up to you though.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout at Nephis again. That keep on climbing, you got this for another healing word.
Thank you.
I'm at 6 more.
Win like once.
And
Okay.
then I'm gonna shout at Marcy. Oh no, I can't. Never mind. Okay, that's my turn.
All right. Zaka's gonna keep covering. Actually, she's gonna shoot this orange guy again, is what she's gonna do.
Good for her.
Please do.
Let's Gracie. So as she takes shots at this thing, it's got a pretty good position where it's at. And so her shots go wide and she's not gonna hit it. Then but she's just gonna kind of stand at the base of the rope as all of you are going up. Just glare angrily around. Pretty much.
Queen.
Keeping everybody off Nephis.
I'm gonna climb up.
Yay!
That's
All right.
what I'm doing.
You are in. You're good to go.
Woo! Let's go.
You roll over there. All right. Now it's their turn. And just Marcius is here to take these hits. So they're gonna have advantage on these.
Yep.
The boss one is gonna try to shoot Azaka again. So he's gonna do that, but the other ones are all gonna go after you.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's 8,
If I
right?
can impose disadvantage on one of them, I do that.
Sure, why not? We'll say. So that'll tap it back to normal. That'll be this one. Okay, that one's gonna hit. Then that's gonna hit. Your AC is 13?
Yep.
Okay. So one of them will miss you.
I have to make 7 con saves?
Yep.
Cool.
Jeez. What's the range of bless?
I only failed 2.
Okay. So we'll start with the piercing damage and see how this goes.
I can maybe give you a D4 on one of those failed saves with bless.
They were probably 2. No, one of them was a 4. So if you give me a D4, is it just a reaction?
It's an action.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
And I'll tell you what, Azaka's gonna try and jump in the way. So if she rolls well on that, I'm gonna say she gets in the way of 3 of these. She does not roll well.
Rip.
So okay, so first off, piercing damage wise, with just the ones that are piercing, you're going to take 16.
Well, boys,
So 16, then another 12.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. The whole thing comes crumbling down, you guys. The plan was good until this happens.
So all of us are gonna fall 30 feet.
Onto a bunch of spikes, yes.
Cool, I'm dead.
Oh my gosh.
You're at least
So
down at a couple of failed death saves.
I am at 4 hit points. I'm falling 30 feet onto spikes.
Yeah, one of them knocks you down, one of them fails you a death save. You're fine.
Just so you know.
Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
So all of you who are up
It was
in
a good
here, you
plan.
guys see these arrows flying towards, or not arrows, they're daggers, flying towards where Marcius is, and you see him drop, and then you feel this space crumble. Now, that being said, you are in Cholt. There are vines everywhere, and there are tree limbs all around you. So each of you can use your reactions to go ahead and make me athletics saving throws to attempt to catch a branch and not fall all the way.
I was so hoping my genius plan would work.
Hey, Scott, what's a nat 1 mean?
Rip!
Oh, not again! Not again.
13.
13?
I'm gonna
Okay.
13.
His death plunge.
What'd you get, Nephis?
10.
10. All right. And
I got
Caylona.
17. So.
Okay. Caylona, you're
Ooh.
good to go. You grab a branch. You are just sitting on a vine there. Jasper, you do as well. This is not that hard to do in Jolt. Nephis, don't think that's gonna do it. And Div. So I'll say with a 10, Nephis, you managed to like grab a vine and drag yourself like most of the way down. So I'm gonna say you're gonna only take 10 feet of fall damage. Div. This is just for
I'm at
flavor
4
at this
HP,
point.
baby.
Yeah, 15 points of damage for you, Div, as you fall, hit the ground, and then are impaled on spikes.
So if that knocks him down, does he also fail a death save from that?
No, because that damage all happens at the same time.
Right.
So
Cool.
it's just that just knocks him out.
Cool.
If like a knife were to be thrown at him and then he were to drop, those are two separate sources of damage, but this damage is inflicted from hitting spikes. So
Gotcha.
same thing. So it's one source of damage, basically.
Makes sense.
Then Nephis, you are going to take 3 points of damage from the fall. And another 3 points of damage from the spikes. You land somewhat fairly gently, all things considered. Jasper, you're chilling up there. Caylona, you're chilling up there as well.
We considered surrender.
Div, can I get a death saving throw?
Yeah. Yeah, you can. That's a success.
All right. Jasper, it is your turn.
Real.
Yeah. This is just my catchphrase throughout the fight. I'm gonna shout at Div. The show's not over yet.
Bet.
And you're gonna take 5 points of health. And
Woo!
that's a bonus action. Can I make it to the ground?
It's risky, but you could try.
I want to try.
Okay, go ahead and make me an athletics check.
You got this. Acrobatic skills.
Another 13.
Okay, so I'm going to say you do make it to the ground. Were you aiming for a spot of ground away from the spikes or where everybody else was near where these spikes are?
As close to the middle of our group as I can get without crushing somebody.
Okay, so that's where the spikes are. So you
Yeah.
will take spike damage from when you
That's
land.
okay.
So you're going to take 10 points of damage from that.
That's okay.
And then it is Azaka's turn.
I still have my action, don't I?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, I forgot. Oh, no, your action was to go down. That was your action.
That was
Yeah.
my action?
Yeah, that takes a lot of concentration.
To drop. Oh, okay. That's fine.
If you're straight dropping, you're taking a lot more damage than that. If you're climbing down, you can do that if you want.
I'm trying to go
let-
fast. My group is dying.
So if you just want to let go, you can do that. You'll take more damage though.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna take an additional 11 points of bludgeoning damage from that landing, but you do have an action.
Cool. Then I'm gonna cast Warding Wind around myself as I'm shouting. I don't know what I'm yelling, but a large barrier, 10-foot radius of wind is rushing around me.
Okay.
Any ranged attacks have disadvantage on anybody in the wind and anybody around it. You probably already know this spell.
It's convenient in situations like this.
Yes.
Okay,
Heck
sounds good.
yeah.
So yeah, Jasper, you land. It's definitely painful, but
Yeah.
you've taken far worse falls. And
yes. Yeah, I've taken much worse falls. I land and I start like twirling around and spinning, and the wind picks up and guards
so it starts
us.
the channel. And then it's Azaka's turn, and she just narrows her eyes and she says, I think if I can take that one out, we might be able to get the rest to go away.
What'd you say?
Oh no, she's like right there. She's right in the wind too.
It's still 20-mile-an-hour wind and very
Yeah.
loud.
So she's just going to jump out of there. And as she does, you see her legs transform. With a roar, she slams upwards into the trees, catches to where the frog is, and she's going to now in full hybrid form here. She's gonna try and eviscerate this guy.
Yeah.
So she takes him and she just takes the frog and throws it directly downwards towards its own spikes, picking it up and just hucking it downwards. And it's going to take so it just like with a startled throat, Let's let this cry as it slams right in front of where this wind is onto its spikes, or it just lets out just like a wail before the spikes melt away and it's no longer moving.
Woo!
Cool. What happens to the rest of them?
So at that point, like Azaka is up in the trees, the rest of them are up in the trees. I was keeping track of their knives and they're out. So they're
Oh.
done.
Well, that was
Um,
convenient, now that I started my protection stuff.
Do we
Hey,
get to keep
I'm
all
glad
of the
you did it.
knives?
and they're like looking down. There are a bunch of knives all across the ground, but none of them really want to go get those. So they're gonna leave. Cut their losses and
Yeah.
flip.
Woo!
And that I believe is where we will end for today.
Can someone stabilize me a little bit before we end for today?
Oh yeah, that's right.
No,
There's a
cliffhanger.
silver mannequin lying in a pool of blood underneath the thing.
I'm just barely not dead myself.
You don't even have to cure wounds me. Just medicine check, stabilize, spare the dying. I don't care.
I do have spare the dying.
Spare the dying me. It's like
Right.
basically just a cantrip. It auto
It is.
stabilizes.
Yeah, it is a cantrip, but I need to remember the rules around it because I
Hey, you
am
just auto stable. You just touch somebody and they're stable instant.
okay. Cool.
When
Yeah, no longer
you
rolling
touch
death save.
any creature that's hit 0 hit points and they're stable.
As long as they ain't dead, it works.
Yup.
I'm no longer
All right.
dying. Yay!
All right.
Yay!
So yeah, we will stop there and we will see y'all next week. Bye.
GG.